Hey y'all, welcome to the Improv and D&D channel. I'm Matt, and today we'll be rocking some amazing Change Stars action. I'm super excited for this. This is one of my favorite TTRPGs of all time, and we have Dreamweaving for us tonight, the incredible Lee, who is the creator of this system. So I am so jazzed, so excited. But before we get into things, let's go through some introductions of each of our players. Your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and maybe just a quick little elevator pitch of your character. Let's start with Micah with Sam on deck.
Hi, my name is Micah. I'll be playing Kaz tonight. My pronouns are they, them, but Kaz, being a friend, has any pronoun you want at the moment. I have no social media presence. You cannot find me, do not perceive me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Micah. And now let's go to Sam with J, aka RLU, on deck. Go ahead, Sam.
Awesome. I'm Sam. I'm a he, him. I play Scampy, who is really. I also do not have a social media presence, but if you hang out, and this is not a plug, at the Level 1 Geek streams, you know me as Wombat Fuzz.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I always appreciate your support, and I always love seeing you in chat, Sam. Now, Jay, aka RLU.
Yes, hello. I'm Real Life Unicorn. I also don't do social media, which is amusing for the group so far. But you'll find me on Discord at Real Life Unicorn and Level 1 Geek as well, most of the time. Or whenever Matt's live and I'm awake still, if I still am. I'll be playing a medic named technically Unicorn, but it's UN1-C0-RN, going by Uni. Their pronouns are they, them, because they are a scent. Mine are he, him.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, Jay. And I, of course, am Matt. My pronouns are he, him. The character I'll be playing is a Rast by the name of Voozy, who, he's always been perceived as very cute, but he's trying to woo a news guy that he's had his eyes on, and he's trying to show the bad boy side, and we'll see if that's successful or not. But finally, of course, we have the incomparable, the illustrious, the incredible Dreamweaver this evening, Lee. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lee. You can find me everywhere. I am Quadcore with a KRPS on Twitter. I am Diesel Shot alongside my partner, Pat, who is at long_spider on Twitter. We are Diesel Shot all together. Diesel like the fuel, shot like taking a shot of a beverage. And we are also on YouTube. You can see me talking in the chat, but it's the exact same name. We do live stream tabletop RPGs. We have for over 2 years now. About 1 year ago and change, we ran a Kickstarter to fund Change Stars, a unique world that Pat came up with the art and lore for, and I sort of breed the mechanics into, and together we created this wonderful product that has created something amazing. And we've been lucky to share it with many gamers over the years, and the year singular. It is wonderful to be here, wonderful to join everyone. And last but not least, I will be playing all of the NPCs in the game. So you will perceive me everywhere you look. And I can't wait to get going with it. I think this is a wonderful group, and I think we're going to have a chill time. Do a little Change Stars.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Indeed. So all that said and done, I believe we ease now into the motion of the ocean. You are all aboard your vessel. a freighter, a Vera freighter, headed to a remote system, the Ascadia system. They are in sore need of construction materials. Originally colonized in the slapdash push of the human empire that fell 100 years ago, shoddy prefabs not well acclimated to the nature of the planet have begun to fail en masse. Serious infrastructure and industrial materials are necessary to help stave off larger issues from setting in. You are a free merchant crew that believes strongly in the mission of the Trinity, and you are making a supply run of just that nature. But in addition, you hear rumor that an Imperial Scout Corps bunker has been uncovered and put to use by some group doing deals with the shadiest smugglers on this side of the frontier. Now, as people interested in the safety of the frontier and its the success of the Trinity as a project, you feel compelled to learn more. And without any hard evidence, you can't exactly call in the Trinity military to do anything about this, or peacekeepers or whoever may be appropriate. So your mission here is twofold. Deliver the goods these people need to help build strong foundations, and figure out what's really going on in that old bunker. So I think that we go here, and Vuzi, tell me, where do you think you are? You guys are, to set the stage, about 1 day out from arriving over the planet. You thawed out from cryo about a week ago. What are you up to? What's Vuzi's focus right now?
So I'd say Vuzi is probably in, if there is like the I guess the bathroom. He's kind of combing his fur a little bit, making sure that he looks just good and tough, because he's got to, just in case. Like even if the chances are slim that he might run into the object of his affection, it's always one of those things where it's like he doesn't want to be caught with his pants down. He wants to always look the right way so that maybe, just maybe, they'll find him and be impressed.
Absolutely, you cannot be caught lacking in the looks department. So you're tending to that in the mirror. Scampy, you're aboard the vessel. You are traveling through the void. Also, important question: Matt, should I play music?
Oh, I've got some music playing for the stream.
Okay,
but you can
good.
play it for everyone else, and they'll be able to
enjoy
the immersion.
Excellent. So Scampy, you're aboard what part of the ship do you think that you're on? This is not the largest freighter, but it's got some amenities.
Right now, I'm probably dangling upside down from a tangle of wires in engineering. And reaching for the intercom to make a full ship announcement.
One of your paddles outstretched, about to press the button.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your engineer. I kindly request that you don't use the popcorn maker. Otherwise, a few minor systems will fail, such as life support. We need to make landfall to fix that. Until then, please do not enjoy your popcorn.
Excellent.
I love that.
Where do we think Kaz is when they receive that missive?
Standing in the kitchen, staring dejectedly at these unpopped corn kernels.
Oh no, you're about to go for it. You'd heard of this human delicacy. You were about to go all in. A shame. What's the next step? What strikes you in this moment?
I'm just gonna let out a tiny curse and go straight for the alcohol instead, I guess.
All right. Yeah,
if I can't have my popcorn.
You reach.
I heard that.
You find a tall bottle of something stiff with a label and threadling to let you know this is some strong hooch. And, what one presumes you will have that with you in the coming adventures. UN1 or Uni. Where do we think Uni would be aboard the vessel at around this time?
Definitely, he stays in the medic wing most of the time, keeping an eye on their stocks, making notes of when to order more.
And you're in the med bay. You see 4 medikits, 2 adrenaline shots, 3 drop pills. It looks like everything is more or less in order. Now, as you comb through, you catalog it all, and it seems present in your brain. You're a little low. You might want to re-up the next time. You're in a good place too. And presently, you are allowing the shipboard AI, the Node 3000, to autopilot your vessel. It handles, basic proceedings, taking off, landing, docking. It's not exactly going to win any awards for speed, but it gets the job done. You've been down a pilot, since the last one had to go into retirement. They really wanted to start a melon farm, and you guys had just stopped at the exact right world. So a very teary goodbye. Vrashka, she departed to start her melon farm, and that was a few jumps ago. So you're just relying on the AI at the moment until you can find a replacer. But around this time,
melons and not cabbages were good, right?
Yeah. Around this time, Scampy, I'm assuming you have a comm box or a slate on you.
Yep.
All right. You have a few processes running that give you internal scan information because you need to go fix things, but you do see a weird bleep. You see it about a second before everybody else does, but everybody gets a push notification from the AI, and then over the intercom, here's executive decision required at the bridge. Unexpected detonation. And that doesn't sound too good. You don't feel anything, but
Yet.
Yeah. Keyword yet. So how do you all think that you respond? And Kosh, very key question here. Carrying the bottle of alcohol?
I pocket it for later.
That one's essential. All right. But
define explosion.
It says detonation in space, cause unknown, debris field accelerating. So
do not break my ship.
Understood. Addendum. Under the Free Merchant Charter, it is all of your ship, communally. Achoo! Achoo! That's not Diject. The AI doesn't do the sneezing. That's like the small rat in the pipes in engineering. It sneezes like that. That's canon.
Brad, if you do that again, I'm going to eat you.
It scampers away.
Thank you.
Can I assume that the party decamps to the bridge to find out what the fuss is about?
I skittered to the bridge.
Yeah.
All right.
Vuzi would probably be a couple steps slow because he just has to make sure that he does his prerequisite 15 sprays of space cologne.
Literally, within 3 squares of the bridge, but he's going to be one of the last ones to arrive.
Oh, yeah.
And Uni as well?
Actually, Uni would not.
All right, so Uni's chilling. You are also getting all of his information piped into your brain as a synth if you'd like. So,
okay.
But yes, you guys see on the scanner, you are approaching Muscadia 5, also known as Long Range, and there's not much other space traffic other than a Remora freighter that is a minor kind of trawling along the belt here. You guys have made it to about here, right? And the detonation has spawned a meteor storm, which is really set to impact your hull. You're starting to get the warning clacks on, and it more or less looks like a meteor shower is going to hit your ship unless you do something about it.
Does anyone remember how to steer this?
Got nothing in operate.
I guess I could give it a shot. And Voozy is just like going through his head. It's just the headline of Voozy saves the day while looking badass, and he's just picturing his love seeing that and swooning, like just like fainting on all 10 legs.
You check and see if there's a selfie cam on the dash. Sadly, that has not been installed yet. Apparently, Scampy's behind on that one. But yeah, it's also worth noting you have all ships come equipped with an asteroid gun or an asteroid buster, and they are designed to shoot metal balls that explode concussively and spread other small explosive balls to disperse this sort of thing. Technically speaking, this is a problem you could try to shoot out of existence.
In that case, Voozy would be all about that. This is what he's actually good at, instead of like the actual physical prowess.
Yes. In addition to that, there are a few things that you all know you can do. You have a ship's AI that has some processing, and it can be spent on ship rerolls. It can also be spent to make the ships do things automatically. It can also be given to the ship to give it more power. Power can be shot around from the reactor, which an engineer can do to sort of boost the ability of the ship. So shooting is an option if you want to try and run or hedge the bets on that shot as the klaxon blares and you see like impact imminent as you are entering this like encroaching field. That is an option that anybody who was good at, working with mechanics or systems could do.
Speaking of which, I will boost power to something.
All right, so you're going to scamper off to the reactor room right quick, knowing that you've got this meteor storm inbound.
Start shooting.
All right, so do you want to? So you've got 3 power to hand out. You could use it to try and boost the engines to get out of here, or you could use it to jack the gun.
Have I seen Woozy shoot before?
Has Scampy seen Woozy shoot before? That's an important question.
I would think so. Like maybe, most of our missions have probably been of the non-lethal variety, but Woozy is the type to like kind of call his shots when he shoots his electroshock gun. So it's like you see like the little probes like land right on someone's nose before they're shocked into submission.
Noise.
Yeah, but that's a bit.
The nose.
Exactly.
I don't feel bad for that one at all.
So, Scampy,
I avoid that by not having a nose.
Give me
mechanics.
Yeah. Now the question is, do you want to emphasize? Okay, let me put it this way: you got 3 points, each of which represents a +1 to hand out here.
Okay.
You can split these between juicing the gun and juicing the engines.
Let's juice the gun by 1 and the engines by 2.
All right. So not a vote of no confidence, but a quorum of no confidence. I like it. So I'll just throw down these little gold tokens so that we know. Whoop, and whoop, whoop. Now the thrust on this is not exactly a speedster, so it starts at a -1 thrust. You've got up to +1.
Okay.
So Scampy, give me a mechanics test to see how you wrap that one up.
Oops. Press the button, but nothing happened.
So it'll throw up a little box, and it'll be a modifier 0 will be somewhere. It might have wound up under the sheet somehow.
Yeah, that's what happened. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a modifier of 1?
0.
No, it's a straight. It's straight. It's the other thing that gets the modifier.
All right, so you succeed with a twist. In this instance, I'm going to say, Scampy, you can spend that twist on firing up the engines even hotter, and it's going to affect it. Or pumping you. Basically, I'll give you one extra power to will temporarily spike. You take fully offline the microwave subsystems. You have just enough energy in the capacitors to temporarily have one more power. Do you want to throw that at the asteroid gun or the thrust? All in on the thrust, or one more to the asteroid and even it out?
One more to the asteroid gun.
We're evening it out. Meanwhile, Kaz, you could head over to the comp mesh room one east or at the bridge here, and you could try and get the AI to do something, or you could try and coordinate the systems here. There's something called computer-assisted fire, and basically what you could do is you could say, "Hey AI, help the gun shoot," and then it would make a shooting test alongside Vuzi. Important note: your ship only rolls 2 dice to shoot, so that might not be the play in particular. You can also just let it be there. Also, Kaz, you could do this if Kaz, you think that the ship is going to survive either way, and I don't know Kaz as a person yet, but this might be of interest to you. Right now, right? The explosion has just gone off. It's probably ripped apart whatever did it, but if you want details about what did it, that might get filtered out here, especially if some of the antennas get damaged when the impact happens. You could emphasize trying to fact find about why and how this happened over anything to do with the fight.
Actually, yes, 100%.
All right. So you run in, you slip down, and you're like, it's gamer time for Kaz. Kaz, hit me with that sweet systems test. And if you don't like your result on this, you will be able to spend one of the ship's 3 processing points to re-roll it.
Oh.
Yeah, so you could basically say, hey AI, help me. So you'll click on the little button on your sheet that says systems.
I am. And it's not letting me roll.
Oh, is it not giving you a little box?
Why isn't it giving it?
It might be under your sheet.
Yeah, that's what happened with me.
Sometimes they like to sneak around under your sheet, but there'll be little boxes, modifiers with submit 0 on it. If you'd like,
sorry, guys.
It's all good.
That's it. Somebody go dig out the D6s.
I can also.
Okay. So when I click the box, it gives me another box that says input value. That's not helpful.
And then you gotta hit submit. You gotta hit submit on that second box, and then that's gonna toss the dice.
Okay. So leave it at 0.
Mm-hmm. Leave it at 0.
There we go.
All right, that is a success. No twists. Twists can let you do things faster, more covertly, or get extra info. Right now, you're doing a fact finder. So right now you succeeded, right? You see in the burnup and the debris what looks like the packing and fibers that you would normally see on a mining charge, or more accurately, maybe multiple. There's more stuff there than there should have been. But this is like expected space demolition material. It's just that it is detonated right as you're arriving, and that's kind of sus because you don't see anybody around doing a mine operation right now. If you want to, I'll tell you this. If you manage to get some twists here by either using the ship's processing or gaining an edge and doing some rerolling of your own, extra information twists would be more information about the charge in particular, or more information about signal traffic in the area that might give you a hint as to if this wasn't just a time thing, if a signal got sent, there might still be a rebound from that radio message that you could sift from the noise before it's gone forever.
I want to go after the signal.
Yeah, and you might be able to tap both, because so this is all part of the same test, right? Right now you have 1 success. Here are your options. 1, you can spend one of the ship's processing to entirely re-roll all of your non-successful dice. 2, you can gain 1 edge and then re-roll all of your non-successful dice alongside 1 edge dice. And either of those are going to let you toss the dice again.
Yeah, and you'll keep that 1 success you already had. So you can
and
get more.
If you really want to, you can tap both of them. And you don't have to commit to that right now. And for reference, the ship gets its processing back every 10 hours. So it's not like this is like a huge loss for it. But if anything else in the immediate aftermath happened, it's not available. You know what I mean?
Right. I would go all out then. Why not?
All right, so the first one is the processing. So you're at 2 of 3 processing for the ship's AI, as it says, committing processing to help factor, closing. You have like a holographic screen in front of you, and you're dragging in, and it's showing you this like bent corny of all of the stuff coming out. You're drawing up images of the charge. You're drawing up radio waves. Give me now a systems -1 test, just to represent you re-rolling all of the dice that didn't succeed. Like on the tabletop, you would have parsed out the success and then re-rolled everything that wasn't a success. All right, you have 1 twist. And correct me if I'm wrong, you wanted signal info?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it bounced off a mining drone. You have the mining drone serial number, XC106. It doesn't immediately strike you as anything out of the ordinary. It's a regular mining drone serial number. That being said, it was almost certainly used as a proxy for whoever set off the signal. Find the drone, or who controls the drone, and you probably know who sent the signal. And that's what you get as the rocks, Vuzi, as you sit down in the gunner's chair, are about to rip through the ship. You are in a metal box in space, and the killing void is outside, and there is a bevy of rocks about to rip in and try to destroy you. What do you like to do here at this time, Vuzi?
I think it's time to blast.
It's time to blast. So you can use either systems or ballistics to shoot the asteroid gun, and it is mod 1, but you got 2 power from your buddy Sam. From your buddy Scampy. Who knows Sam? Who? So that's a modifier 3 test, ballistics or systems at your preference.
Great.
As Vuzi leans back in the chair, control stick up, ready to blast.
I'm definitely going ballistics, relying on my training in the military. So here we go.
Then I started blasting.
Ooh,
oh, that's
nice.
a super twist. All right. That's a blowout. Okay. So you rip through the asteroid gun. It was literally designed for this. You managed to boop, boop, boop. You fire these little pinball machine-looking balls. They spit up the rocks and explode out extra balls that explode and rip and rip and rip until fine dust is left. You've reduced half of the hit points of the meteor storm, and the hit points of the meteor storm at the end of this will translate directly into ripping you up, unless you manage to get away. Right now, I believe y'all are going to let the AI, the Node 3000 Voyager, try and just haul ass here. All right. Yeah. It's going to have, it would be rolling 3 dice instead of rolling 5, thanks to power reallocation. And it is contested by the 10 of these speeding rocks. Ooh. Unfortunately, Kaz, you see that the ship's AI is like, it's got its piloting subroutines. They're not going to quite come through for you. You could hit the button and allocate the processing if you wanted to let your ship reroll those 46. They just need 1 more success to beat it out. All right, 46. So you press the button, it goes whoop, and you guys barely make it by all the rocks. Vuzi destroys the half that would have hit you as your ship rockets forth. Meanwhile, Uni, what are you up to?
Yes.
You hear little bleeps and bloops about rocks falling in the distance. What would you be doing?
So something I didn't mention about Uni is he has a very strange obsession with hats.
Hats.
He has no knowledge on much fighting at all, so he knows he's of no use to them against these rocks. So he's actually in the corner of the medic room trying on different hats.
Excellent. What kind of chapeaus do you think Uni has acquired his journeys through the stars?
A little bit of everything. Anything from like newer style to like old classics, things that humans would have had years ago, or I guess however long ago the fall was.
Yeah, you find like a nice...
He's not happy with any of them because none of them work with the horn. Because he does have a small unicorn horn on his forehead.
Yeah, none of them. I mean, like there's this one cowboy hat you think is going to do it, but then it's like you'd have to like stab through and it would ruin the aesthetic and it wouldn't be...
Yep.
Each one discarded after the other. And you can never... You're not sure what it's missing. A certain je ne sais chapeau. Give me give me a scrutiny test to really like examine the available headwear.
I don't know if it's working. There it goes.
Yeah, you know what? You succeed. You succeed with a twist. Would you like to emphasize a search for the hat that works the best out of all of them, or a search for the quintessence of what is missing from this selection of hats?
Definitely the latter.
Okay.
He is
That's
willing
what
to
you,
blow money on hats, so he will try to find someone else if he can.
that's what you spend the twist on. And yeah, you think what this really needs is, hats, there's a certain symmetry to them and an asymmetry to them and an art of the presentation of the face. Now, normally this is reliant on certain lines and features. It can differ. And some stuff stays the same between species and the like. For example, depending on the floppiness of the hat, a Thren's horns might need to be accounted for. Your horn is a little more prominent, a little more center and up, right? And Uni comes to the conclusion that what you really need is like a prefabricated hole, but not one that's straightforward. It actually needs to be kind of like an oblong side one so that it can fall into the various twisted positions that a hat can and will, because otherwise you're fixing it around like a helmet. And that, it's a fashion statement, but it's not what you're after. It's not the essence of the hat. So you've determined during this small ship emergency that you are certain what you need in a hat, but you're also certain you've never seen it before, as your vessel drifts towards long range. And the FMS Persistence, the only other ship in the area, continues on. And you guys see long range, its moon Archon in the distance. It's a largely rocky and desolate world, although it does have patches of lime yellowish green vegetation visible from space where the vast grass seas yet grow. And as you head in, you receive your hailing from the various satellites, and you are ushered in. Your vessel is not planetfall capable, but you do have a shuttle, and you do have cargo lighters to send down your various construction materials. In the wake of that event, is there anything that you guys like to do? Because you've got at least 10 hours before you guys are fully ready to go down in the procedures. So are you guys thinking about, maybe, hey, that's strange, sharing any information you might have gained, asking any questions?
I'm definitely sharing with the party, but I kind of want to hail that other ship and be like, yo, you see that shit?
Absolutely. So I'm assuming you want to come on the comms and let everyone know, or convene in the bridge or whatever, and just be like, you share basically what you gained from the test, and then you wanna put in a hail.
Oh yeah. So being the person that I am, I want to tell everyone in person rather than put it on the comms, because I'm not trying to blast it in the space that I'm suspicious.
Yeah. Okay. So you're OBSEC, security through obscurity. Bet you can't siphon the words out of my mouth off from my slate. As long as there's no camera to watch. You do the rounds. So actually, do you convene a meeting then if you prefer it in person, or you just straight up hiking?
No, I'll do the rounds. Oh.
All right. So you're like,
get a little walking in.
You share it. Scampy's presumably Scampy, you're still in the engineering room, but now we're relatively relaxed.
Are you still in a web?
No, I'm out of the web. I'm probably running a diagnostic to make sure we didn't get tagged with something.
Scampy's working on all the little machines and panels here when you share your information. I don't know if Vuzi or Scampy would have a particular reaction to this information, but Kaz, as you enter the room, you do see Uni in the corner, is Uni huddling? And then you see the chapeau collection. I'm assuming there's a nice series of hat boxes.
Oh, definitely. And there's a large full-size mirror right in front of him, so we can see every bit of it.
Oh,
Kaz is going to take a moment to stop and appreciate whatever you're trying on in the moment.
Yeah.
And and kind of wait for a long pause until you notice that they're there.
Yeah. I think it's as you dismiss the boulder cap with an insufficient curve, you note Kaz's presence in the room.
How can I help you today?
That one wasn't half bad. And then I'm going to share about our little drone friend, XC106, trying to blow us all to hell.
You wouldn't have a particular reaction to that either.
Totally used to this by now.
You know your crew.
I'm just going to give one last thumbs up and then head back.
He'll give 2 thumbs up and then go back to trying his hats on. Their hats on, sorry.
Nice. Now, for reference, anybody who'd like to, or as at Kaz's suggestion, could be patched in and hear this call, so you don't have to be in the bridge to participate if you feel compelled. Or, otherwise, Vuzi and Kaz are the 2 people physically in the bridge, and they'll be the people present for the hail.
Oh, I'm definitely patched in.
Yep, you're going to hear it all. And
Uni actually would, out of curiosity, to know what's going on.
And so, Kaz, I'm assuming you put out the hail to the FMS Persistence. And at this point, it is pivotal. What is y'all's ship's name?
How about the
I don't
FMS
think we're
Improv?
the. What was that?
FMS Improv.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, because your crew's motto is you make it up as you go along.
Yeah.
All right. And
it.
you hear the hail goes through. There's a slight delay before a human comes on the con, and you see a little holograph of their face. And this is the FMS Persistence to the FMS Improv. Reading your hail.
I'm not really a small talk person when it comes to these sort of things. I'm probably going to go right into asking them if they picked up anything, if they noticed that explosion.
We're noting a explosion. It was about the size of a large demolition charge. We assumed it was some mining.
Out here?
Well, mining in the belt isn't uncommon. She, so the person on the far side, looks and would you have like holo cam on or not?
Yeah.
Holo cam on. They look and they say, well, there's been more mining the belt lately. They've had to online a few old factories, everything from ferrocrete to support struts are needed right now. There's a bit of an infrastructure problem. So, yeah. Ecological restraints mean that we can't do as extensive surface mining as they used to back in the bad old days. So, yes, we're just here helping out. And you can see that they are flying a Remora. It is a large freighter with a drone bay and a shuttle port, a shuttle hangar. And you do see some drones flitting around them, like the little signatures with the transponders on. They seem to be prospecting drones though. None of them look like a mining drone. Prospecting drones fly out as like a swarm of 100 and coat all over something for scanning. A mining drone, think of it more like something almost the size of a car that singularly drives around and does its job. So let's say I know my name's on the screen and all, but my name is Captain Hemmings. Pleasure to meet you, FMS Improv. It's unfortunate that there was an explosion on your way in. I think some people are beginning to skirt the regulations. All our paperwork is in order, however, and I assure you that we only make active demo with eyes on. It's possible somebody set that to detonate a high value yield and anticipated that whatever rock was getting blown into space was worth less than whatever they wanted to dig out later. They could have just waited until they were somewhere else and started surveying. And perhaps they're kind of clockwise down the belt.
Do you know who else is out here?
Oh, we picked up a few transponders. And yeah, so earlier I mentioned that like there's no other like ship operating near you.
Mm-hmm.
Technically that's true, but there's an important note in Change Stars about how transponders work. There's two modes. You can't turn them off. You can yank them, which is incredibly illegal, and you'll be flagged immediately as like doing piracy or something. But there's two modes. One mode is, hello, I am the FMS Improv. Hello, I am the FMS Improv. Hello, I am the FMS Improv. You are actively broadcasting. That's the mode they have their ship in. The other mode is you hear a call and it echoes back like a cave. Like someone goes, ping, FMS Improv. Ping, FMS Improv. So technically speaking, it's possible that people have their transponders in somewhere else in the belt, but are either heavily obfuscated by the presence of large rocks, like one of the really big asteroids, and so just line of sight problem, you can't see them, although that's not incredibly likely. And then there's also the possibility that they just are there, legally operating with their transponder, and of course, but not advertising their presence, so they'll only come up if you run a scan. But the FMS Resistance's Captain Hemming says, if you're interested in taking this up with the authorities, I could provide you with a list of, I'm sure the Mother Network has already been past it, but if it would help you at all in this, I'm sure, very stressful time, could provide a list of transponders that we've recently come into contact with. And they're all mostly doing belt mining, some on deep or inner system runs. There are other HABs in the system, but only one planet with a breathable atmosphere. As you can imagine, it's a popular destination.
The list wouldn't hurt. I'm just trying to find who to send the bill to.
Of course. Well, out here in the frontier, it is important to be good at accounting. You want to know how the ledger comes up at the end of the day. And you see a little zing as you get the message. It's a list of a dozen transponders ranging from shuttles to small freighters, with names like the FMS Intrepid and the FMS Long Haul and the FMS Gold Runner. You see one TST Wavine. Appears to be a threat and pursuer. Looks like Trinity Marshals have come through the area. It's not incredibly uncommon, but implies that there's at least been a recent sweep by the Marshals. And Captain Hemming would say, I'm afraid we're pretty busy here, so if there's nothing else, I'll be off.
No, thank you very much.
Of course.
Vuzi is gonna sidle next to Kaz real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's one thing. Did you see that shot?
And Captain Hemming says, I'm afraid that your ship was obfuscated by the asteroids at the time of the detonation, so we actually didn't initially realize you were the blast radius.
All right, nothing further.
Very well, then. And casual reminder, this is a game with an insight skill, and you can choose to roll it whenever you would like. If anybody has that feeling.
Yes, I would.
All right.
Of course, my insight's not great, but
yeah.
It always hides it.
I'd actually like to roll an insight too.
Absolutely.
Vuzi's too dejected to do so.
No. You're hoping that some sick gamer cam footage.
Does our ship record?
Yeah, no, there is the FMS Improv's Voyager Node 3000 is constantly recording information because all of this gets passed along to the Mother Network, right? It's a node of the Mother Network and it gets into the big full AI mothers on all of these major worlds. So yeah, all of the information was recorded and passed along as traffic data. So you can absolutely, take it from the ship's external cams. And we presumably, Vuzi's got DaVinci Resolve on his console and it's editing in there with the with like the bow, 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 horns and like an epic soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
Maybe a hit marker every time he blows someone up.
It's like a full AMV. He's got like reaction shots of him like going like, "Ah, yeah."
Oh no! If it's AMV, then it has to be like post-pop industrial metal punk.
For some reason, Bring Me to Life is playing in the background.
Yeah. Ultra angsty dual vocals. Yeah. And no, Vuzi, you're just like splicing together. Give me a systems to splice together your space MV there.
Perfect.
And so Kaz, okay, so that's very funny where one person rolls 3 dice and the other person rolls many more. So before I tell Scampy what Scampy knows, Vuzi, holy shit, you managed to put together something like, damn, that looks pretty sick. Like, you think that's going to get some video views on SpaceTube? Cause this person is a little inscrutable to you. You feel like if you take this a little more seriously, if you like really like get on edge about this, you might be able to glean some more and really get a sense of them. Right now, either way, do you want to reach this? Do you want to gain 1 edge and reroll all non-successful dice?
Dude, let's start edging up.
All right, so click the little one, or you can +1 your blue bar on your token. Either work; they're linked together.
Oh, just think that's right.
Boop. Yep, it's up, and now just make that same roll again because you can gain successes. You won't have to do any modifiers.
Yay.
Okay, so first, Scampy, Captain Hemming is telling you a fictional version of events. With that twist, you could gain extra information about your read on Hemming or what you think it is in particular she's lying about.
The latter.
Okay. She definitely knew about that charge, and she definitely wasn't surprised, and she definitely wasn't unsure of, when it went off. Kaz, you have what we like to call a super twist. So that's when you not just succeed, but you have 3 twists to spend. So what you can do is you can bundle this up. The next time you're making an insight test on Hemming or about this event, you'll gain 1 automatic success. And you succeed this masterfully. You are not just a hacker, but a social engineering hacker. You understand people, you figure them out, and you put that to use. And you see right through Captain Hemming. Captain Hemming had this story ready to go. Captain Hemming had the transponder broadcasting loudly because if you were trying to hide, you wouldn't do that. Captain Hemming had her drones out because she's not trying to hide the fact that she has drones. Captain Hemming is a professional. She's done this before. She'll do this again. You don't magically know everything that happened or whether or not Hemming pulled the trigger, but this isn't a coincidence. Hemming was prepared for the eventuality that you called Hemming. In fact, it seems like she was expecting you to. And she gave you a very rehearsed answer that ultimately fully checks out, which implies to you this isn't a guilty party caught with their pants down. This is a serially guilty party who knows how to progress through the world duplicitously. And something about that ledger comment, you get you're all, to whatever degree you want to be, but like someone in the adventure purpose, kind of like believe in the mission of the Trinity as this entity that helps bring people together and provide a better way of life and a better alternative to the woes and whims of the free market. But Captain Hemming just kind of seems to be like, them's the ropes, kids, in terms of profit, and barring any other obvious motivation, cause you think she's been paid. You don't know for what or by whom, but you think there's a money motive. You think there's always a money motive for Captain Hemming. And as her faint smile dims, as the hollow face fades into nothingness, as the call drops, that is what Scampy and Kaz respectively know.
All right.
Pirate or front?
Those both sound pretty badass.
It's
Well-
not about the ass, it's about what it means for us.
Yeah. Do you want me to shoot him?
No. Not yet.
Oh, hold on that. We'll call that Plan B.
Okay. I'll be ready.
Well, should probably focus on getting these materials where they belong first, and then pick this up.
Just out of curiosity, what are we actually carrying?
So you are carrying a bevy of construction nanites that can't be easily made outside of someplace with a nano foundry. You have ultra tensile construction glass used the same place you would put rebar in traditional construction, but built the right way and under the right circumstances is going to last you centuries rather than decades. And other than that, you've also got a series of heavy construction equipment parts. You're not carrying any like bespoke like big rigs, but you are carrying engines, crane parts, winches, gyros. A lot of this is stuff that can be, because of the modular design in nature with the 3D printing and local industry. Basically, you're going to go into an assembly. Your shipment is largely going to either go to construction sites or into assembly lines with locally sourced material. It's just not every planet can make the nicest, highest tech space future technology construction equipment. So you're filling the gap. It wouldn't make sense to send everything. You're not carrying tumblers full of cement, but you are carrying a lot of important building blocks for what's being called long range plan for new generation of construction.
Long range is long range. Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing particularly special or
It's worth noting that you are carrying
special.
I would say if you guys would think of your character as the sort of person to have a personal stash or maybe something a little more questionable, that's certainly up on the offer. And also, you do come. You are carrying an amount of like food stuffs that are rare. Like you have various impliwats, which is a fruit that goes into an infamous Thren cocktail, the Mirnclave. And you are carrying some rack moth eggs, which, you know, if they spawn, you have a fun little encounter with a tier 0 nuisance. But they're like those eggs are put into omelets. You say they're not supposed to be fertilized most of the time, so they shouldn't be able to spawn. But like, you know, you make an omelet, and it's like a really nice delicacy. So you guys are coming from more or less the Thren Federation side of the frontier. So you're carrying some foodstuffs and knickknacks that would be more associated with Thren space. And that's like a smaller amount of internal cargo. Basically, anything that isn't heavy-duty construction material is in this room in the back. And your spaceship beyond the internal walkable space is cargo lighters fucked up with heavy construction material that you need to spacewalk if you wanted to go look at. But they didn't need to be. They didn't need to travel in a pressurized chamber or with life support, so they're external. Does anybody think that they've got a? I mean, I think that we know that there's a chapeau collection that Uni has, and Uni spares. Correct me if I'm wrong here. No expense, correct?
Absolutely not. No
Glamorous.
expense saved.
Glamorous garb, glamorous caps. You think that you could? I mean, you know. Fashion out here is largely relegated to what can be 3D printed or locally made. And you know, most textiles are earmarked for pretty vital stuff out here. So a lot of the clothing is synthetic or made via simple mass fab nanites that are construction to like, this is the construction that makes pans. Would you like to make something else? Sorry, we don't have the 2 months to retool and extra parts. So like, very quickly churns out the same kind of pant with different patterns that you want on it. But, you know, like strong innovation in form, more of a rarity. So, you know, those hats to the right person with a pretty penny.
We make more money on the hats than we do on the cargo.
With a sharp right in. It's worth noting that because you're running the job for the Trinity, They are expediting your heavy matter refueling, which is the fuel you use to do FTL travel. And they are like, comping you any buff work that you need on your hull if you had taken those hits. So in addition to the payment, Mother makes sure there are good incentives to take prime logistic jobs for the network. So, you're getting some, but yeah, I mean, who knows? You might find a real collector down there. Never say never on the hat sale. But I have a question. Kaz, I believe your character is one perhaps more interested in, less interested in rules and more interested in results. Am I?
A little bit.
Do you think that there's anything you might stash for the ride, either for sale purposes or just because you're like, hey, space travel takes a long time and I want to have this with me?
I feel like I would have done my homework to know what would be the best thing to make the most.
You're playing freelancer out here. You already know
black
what's
market
up.
down there.
Oh, you already know what's up. Give me, I'm going to say, either your choice, systems or insight, plus modifier of 2. Don't put the plus mark into the box or it'll scream at you. Just modifier 2 to try and like game the market.
Come on. Oh.
Cause as it happens, you were like, oh gosh, what do people want? What do people like? And you were having this like freeze up moment. Normally you would have done market research, but Scampy said there was like a problem with the engine and that you needed to go back and cycle something. And you were like, oh gosh, all right, Scampy, hold on. And at the last place you docked, you bought you bought a like small smattering of slate cases. They were like very nice. They looked good. There were a variety of like high tensile, water resistant, flame resistant ones. One is even ready for high alkaline and acidic content to protect you from bases and acids on planets where constant acid rate is a problem. You can't have your slate melting. Here's the thing though, and you gain 1 edge when you realize this from that level 1 shock. These are all sized for proprietarily shaped slates sold predominantly on home ships. You can buy a home ship manufactured slate outside of RAS controlled areas, but the average Trinity citizen does not have one. So while you can sell these, it's the sort of listing you put on eBay and wait a little while to sell. But as a spacer, you would normally prefer goods that can be liquidated very swiftly. Now, it's worth noting that's not the only, because you mentioned black market, and you're willing to bend some rules. On the person you were selling this to, right? They were a little rash, and it was like, hey, I have a cousin on the other side of the station who's got something out here is in high demand on that side of space. If you're interested, and you were interested, and you for not too many riders, you picked up a case of what they referred to as jelly, and they said, yeah, the needles in that jelly, they really like a punch. If you ever have a thick bowl, they can split right through it. And after not too much investigation, you realize that what he has sold you is a box full of armor-piercing CIS rounds. So CIS, or Caseless Imperial Standard, was the pulse rifle ammo of the Empire, right? And it exists in like this like semi-see-through ballistic jelly that can be folded off into perfect magazine size and slapped in to shoot. And so the round and a plastic explosive exists suspended, hung in the jelly until it goes off in the gun via electric signal from the pulse rifle. I digress. You have like 12 mags of AP ammo for any of the standard line human Empire weapons, which are the de facto best guns that are commonly made because there's not a military industrial complex right now. They reproduce pulse rifles, pulse carbines, smart guns. The only problem with that is going to be if you had to get it through customs. You think that the solution is to carry it with you on your shuttle down, as it's a carry-on. Yeah, carry-on. Vuzi, Scampy, are we thinking crime? Are we thinking time?
Well, the impression I get of the Nosgai are that they have a tendency to be not entirely ethical.
well, they tend to be highly individualistic, low opinions of like large systems that try to set forth. So whatever Scampy's personal like perspective is, yeah, most often not really going to be a respect for authority.
So yeah, I have a closet of all kinds of weird wonders.
Oh yeah,
that may
absolutely.
or may not be valuable at all.
Yeah, so you've got some stuff that was like, you know, shiny rocks. You've got a few inhalers of Huff. You've got things that are, you know, not really supposed to be had or sold. You know, Trinity succeeding is nice and all, but also let's turn a profit here. You suspect that those that you'd be most willing to part with, because to be fair, like, you know, your pet rock Uthumfwa has been with you since day one.
I will never give up Umfwa.
Umfwa is not to be sold. But those with which you're willing to part, you think that you could probably like turn a nice profit, especially if you can find some people who are, let's say, you know, in the gray market. Not all of this is strictly speaking illegal. It's just illegal to transport on a spaceship between systems. Which is,
well, if we're on the planet, clearly we're not in a spaceship, so it's okay.
Exactly. So, you know, there's ways and means. Vuzi, do you see yourself as a rast who's packing something?
So Vuzi, I'd say like he's kind of got a misguided sense of what makes him look like the bad boy. And so what he does have are generally like maybe from other excursions with dealing with asteroids or potentially other ships. Like he might have found like little bits of ship in wreckages that he had nothing to do with, but he's like kept those little pieces so that eventually he could just and that's the thing, he's not going to bring it up, he'll just have them around in the hopes that when Casalabo finally is in his life, that they will see those things and they'll be like, what's this? And then Vuzi could be like, oh, it's nothing, you know, it's dangerous out there.
Yeah, so Vuzi essentially engages in the space version of picking up fenders from like that always just dropped off on the side of the highway. And they do look like strange metal wreckage. You don't know if Vuzi's like into avant-garde art, and this is actually like putting together like a piece, like this, like because you know you can imagine you walk in and it's just like bent metal, and you just see the bits, and you're like, oh yes, you know, very very avant-garde, ahead of the curve on the twisted metal.
Exactly.
or what? Maybe Vuzi's just grab her for fun, but you got the collection. I don't know if you're going to liquidate it, but it's definitely in like around your bunk, and like people know. Like, no, I don't. Have any of the party members asked? It's a really important question. It's visible, right? It's visible by the bunk. Has anybody asked about it yet?
I just randomly give him bits of metal.
All right, Uni.
Sorry, what did I hear?
Uni, you definitely noted near the bunks, near Vuzi's bunk, there's just like collection of scrap metal and burnt pieces from space wrecks. Did you ever remarked or asked about that?
I think the only thing he would remark on is to not cut yourself.
Amazing. Someone finally stops, ponders it. Who's like, don't cut yourself. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. After a long procedure, you guys are now in orbit of the planet, and Voyager says, in orbit, matching rotation, prepared to drop on Rustport. All trips aligned. Spaceport clearance for the lighters has been arranged. Koi is fueled and ready for voyage. Would you like to descend to the planet?
Sure.
All right. This is a bit of a you must gather your party before venturing forth moment. I presume you all come aboard. Important note. Does anybody have like so I'm assuming Scampy, you have like a crate worth, you have like a locker worth of shit you want to carry, right?
Yeah, sure.
Do you throw that on your back, or do you maybe use a space forklift?
How long actually am I?
So it's hard to you're a U-shaped entity, right? So like a common newsguy in motion pose would be like so. So you could maybe lay out like across two squares, maybe, but it would be kind of like breaching into both. But you're not like the gameplay space you occupy is the same as others while you are. Oh shit! I deleted your actual token rather than the example one. I'm great at running this. Amazing. Hey guys, 7+ years experience. Roll 20. This is what'll get you. But yeah. So what's the play here, Dreamer Scampy?
I'm just gonna. I mean, if there's some kind of carry-all that fits me.
Yeah, you can throw it in the bag.
Some kind of lift harness or something.
Cause, do you just have your little tote bag of one side slate cases, other side armor piercing rounds?
Is there any way to hide the armor piercing rounds like on my body?
So yes, and so yeah, actually, so here's how they work. All right, you could take it and you could peel off the blocks, and they peel into mag-sized shapes. You could somehow wrap those or slide them into magazines, although you don't have a pulse rifle, so I imagine you don't have pulse rifle magazines. Important note, you guys have a gun locker on your ship, and the last station, Vuzi bought everyone an electroshock gun. So I'm assuming, I will assume all of you have your electroshock gun on you unless you state otherwise. But yeah, so you could try and get inventive with this and hide it around your body. Give me, I think, a maneuver to try and jimmy them into. I'm assuming you got
a scarf.
You got like a cool coat on, right? You got like the jacket. Yeah, you got the jacket. So you're like going in the folds of the jacket. You're going into the bag. You're like tipping your hacker glasses. Okay, cool. Yeah, you have it's basically hidden. It might not stand up to close inspection, but on a frontier world like this, where you're not actually, like, strictly speaking, having to take what you take down yourself through like a formal custom scan anyway, like, you can probably get away with it. You're not expecting heavy regulation here outside of what comes down to cargo lighters.
Excellent.
All right. So you guys pass the room with the ISBR. You come over here to the door that leads to your koi, and you pile into your Ito Fortuna koi, and you are in a. Just kidding. Pretend you don't see all that.
Can I do a little ritual on the way out?
Yes.
Like I knock on the ship hull and then give it a little kiss.
You feel like the ship reciprocates the feeling. It is a good ship, the FMS Improv. We run for 3 hours, right? Not 4 hours? Good. Okay. I'm keeping that in mind. All right. So, yeah, you guys are here. The shuttle is all keyed for coming down, and the tower gives you a guidance in. If someone wanted to show off, they could try and, like, do a barrel roll. That's a nice trick. However, you absolutely do not have to, nor is it necessarily recommended if you're not a great pilot. So I'm assuming we all descend.
Yes.
You see the equivalent of like self-flying, like massive cargo containers descend from your ship as the cargo lighters go down, and the koi speeds ahead of them. A very compact little becraned creature. There's a bit of a rumble from a little loose servo you guys never quite found, and yeah, you guys fly down from the FMS Improv, and you make a little rake over. You see the planet below. You're coming down to an area that isn't in one of the grass seas. They're mostly ecological preserves or used for agriculture. One of the vast expanses where attempts to terraform on plants never really took. Rustport is at the center of a district presently being rebuilt. A lot of the old highways you see going below have collapsed overpasses, utterly sun-caked asphalt that is just broken into jagged bits that are more hazard than help to anyone trying to drive or walk. And you see an old quarry extensively dug out. some defunct factory compounds, and some ones that are still going with the telltale constantly thrumming with movement. And largely you see trains and trams used for overland between city travel. Occasionally there's trucks. And you're coming on Rustport. Are you taking in the scenery? Are you shooting the breeze? Are you speculating about your fun on the way in? Checking your illegal goods?
Oh, I mean, I'd say Voozy is trying to scope out the place. Like the very first thing every time he arrives anywhere is like he'll try to be in a position where he can look and see if he sees Casalibo around. If not, just in case they're around, he is gonna strut out like he doesn't care at all. But he will, like, very excitedly, maybe behind a few crates, look around just in case.
You're suited up for this. You're ready for this. You've ready this your own life.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys down to Rustport. You land just outside the spaceport on a pad because most of the space right now is full with your cargo lighters. Lots of people are going in and out. You see some trucks, you see some CCUs, mechas, space forklifting around, and you come out from the koi. You pile out the back, and Voozy, give me a communicate to strut.
All right. Let's see how my strut check goes here.
Let's see that strut check.
All right, here we go. Uh-oh.
You wanna reach it, or
yes.
you?
Oh yeah. I have to, just in case.
Did he just break a limb?
There we go.
That is, yeah. So here's what the twist. You try and look as cool as you can. You stumble and you like twist to make it a thing. You give a little waggle. You give a little rast waggle with your tail, and you're like, nah, this is the swag. Yeah. Woozy turns your swag on, and if you turn your swag on, it's just very noticeable. You see a fellow Rast, who you see based on the tag is Quartermaster Razbuzas, and he says, "Hey," waddles up, clipboard slate in hand, looks everyone over once over with his little half shell hard hat on, and says, "Hey, you're the FMS Improv crew, aren't you? Thanks. This delivery is going to mean a lot to us. I see you've arrived slightly ahead of schedule. Wonderful. The Mother Network informs me you had a bit of trouble coming in. A meteor shower? That's unfortunate."
Oh, yeah. Oh. But, I mean...
Meteor shower and a detonation.
A detonation? Mm-hmm. He's like, this report does seem to indicate, that's strange. Well, according to the Mother Network, there is a large notification that it was an anomalous event, but if you want to, you could put in a formal request that it be bumped up. Peacekeepers right now are not operating too extensively in the belt, but there was a thunder pursuer through here not too long ago with the marshals. Maybe when they swing back, they'd take a look.
If we were to bump it up, would there be press coverage?
And Razbuzas says, well, I mean, there's traffic data. It has been lodged because, this is sort of a public good concern. If stuff is blowing up in the asteroid belt when it shouldn't be, it's kind of everybody needs to know kind of deal.
Yeah, and Voozy is going to turn around and just kind of look for approval from everyone else as he's already nodding.
Cass is just going to give him a thumbs up and a wink.
Yeah, let's bump it up.
Yeah. You got so they're like, oh, okay, we'll bump it up. Awesome. We'll bump it up for you. And you see there's a variety of merchants out here doing their business, plying their trades, and people walking around. And there's sort of a nearby walkway that seems to have some signage and shops on it, but there's lots of buildings that just like hollowed out, burnt, rusted, destroyed, being used, like scrap is being gathered from them in some of these trucks. And overall, it looks like most of them, they've already been picked clean. The structures that are still standing seem to have been reinforced with more prefab or just built right the first time. Hard to tell. But, deeper into the city, you see more structures still standing, either made with local cement or other firmer material. But Quartermaster Azbuzaz says, well, there's a little market out here of people who like to deal with spaces and those who come out to this side of town for work. And, of course, there's a tram station not far from here if you want to check out the amenities. We've got a grab ball arena coming in, probably done in the next month. And other than that, for entertainment, I know a good tailor. And he winks at Vuzi. A Rastian tailor is like, they tailor clothing to be Rast shaped and sized, right? Mm-hmm. However, what they really act as is a Rast community hub in an area. Take that as you will, but Razbuzes checks everything off and says, well, I'll be sure to get that complaint bumped up, and you're free to give a statement. I'm sure your shipboard AI is already in communication with them on the network, so just pipe everything through them, and we'll be good. Thank you again for these materials. And, of course, you should see the Threatened Federation credits in your accounts, and you do. Your communal ship's account has climbed a few tens of thousands. And as Boozes says, anyway, have a great time. If you need anything, do see me. I'll just be checking everything in. And he gives you a little nod and starts to waddle in the direction of an unloading port where it looks like there are many trucks who have been awaiting your arrival. We're going to start taking the construction materials to the sites. You're next to, by the way, one of those absolutely caked out by the sun roads that's just been kind of like bulldozed and like brought to a padded halt here so that people can have livable space. So you look around, you see a market, you see signs, you see local food. You're caught by the wafting of some deep, smell like mustard-based cuisines. And most people are doing business out of a small stall. You do see one person over here, kind of like lean back one foot on the grill of the truck with a bit of a coif on that looks like it's pretty good if you get caught out in a dust storm. With two people sort of hanging around, not like visibly armed, but wearing coats that could conceal anything. And next to one of the more intact burned out structures, kind of like notices the four of you and gives a little sup nod. Yeah, you're free to take whatever course of action here you'd like. I would remind you, you're here. Part of the reason you're here is that Imperial Scout Corps bunker. They work with a lot of shady smugglers, and right now you're next to a spaceport where, let's just say, some smugglers have been known to hang out. So, yeah, if you guys want to follow up a hunch or socially intuit where you think the crime might be at this time, give me an insight.
I will happily give you an insight.
Important note, Uni, you do see that there is a dealer of accessories and chapeaus up here. They've got like their inventory behind them and a computer up. If you want to, I'm assuming that you have your mind on the prize.
Oh, absolutely. They're definitely going to check it out.
Uni's like boop, 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 up here immediately, and they're like, "Oh, why, hello there. Can I interest you in some fine clothing and accessories?" And they pull up the menu, and you're like, "Not it." As you try and like scan through for what you're seeking. Give me a scrutiny to quickly go over their inventory. Scampy. So Kaz, you and Scampy both see that this individual over here, there seems to be like sort of like a sense hanging around this little trio here. and the way that people kind of give them a wide berth unless they're rather intently doing business with them and then quickly being on their way. You got a sense that there's some stuff going on over here. And Kaz, you're a little shaky because you're like, oh my gosh, I have armor-piercing bullets all over my body. Oh my gosh, I have armor-piercing bullets all over my body. Oh my gosh, I have armor-piercing bullets all over my body. And you try and stay calm, knowing that if you badly squish the ballistic gel, you could like further you'd like basically like rip out a single shot in a bad way, and then that would impact the goods. And if a armor-piercing round just sort of fell out of your coat, that might also not be a great look. So you're shaking a little. You have a -2 to your next test, unless you like have time to shake it as your level 1 shock. But otherwise, you're doing good. But you and Scampy reliably call out this individual over here as, or you spot them out as someone to talk to about some less than losing the goods.
So how about being the mouthpiece?
See, as much as I want answers about that bunker, I also want to sell these goods, and they seem like the right clientele.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So does Vuzi kind of like allow the people behind him to like lead the strut, even though he's acting real cool, like he doesn't care out front, or like are your wing people gonna come out ahead?
Like, I'd say Vuzi, what happens is that he starts strutting and he's like trying to look to find the place, but it's like each time he sees someone that he thinks initially, and then you just see the hesitation of like, maybe not. And then just starts going somewhere else. And then it's like his hesitation. Eventually, he's just like, I don't know where to go. And then he sees that Scampy and Kaz have headed in that direction. Then he like runs to catch up. Very uncool, unfortunately.
Uncool points earned. You arrive at Mercutio. Each individual says, hello there, friends. I see you just come into port. Looking to do some business in Rustport?
A little bit. What is the most appropriate way to allow people to know what you've got smoothly?
I think you need to make me a communicate at a -2 because you're kind of freaking out to like smooth this over. Is anybody helping you? Is anybody helping Kaz?
Stay cool. Stay cool.
Sounds like a Scampy assist.
Stay cool. I mean, I have no idea.
Do you have any skill points in communicate?
I probably do not. Hold on.
Yeah, so what it acts as is you can add your skill points in communicate as a modifier to Kaz test.
I give you absolutely nothing.
Excellent.
Same.
So, Kaz, you're...
Uni has
okay.
3, but Uni is not there.
So you say, Kaz, you come up with a line that's very, euphemistic, and Mercutio is like, well, if business be rough with you, be rough with business. Come, I think that you'd like to see some of the local graffiti. And when he says local graffiti, you think he's actually talking about local graffiti. You're like, no, fuck, I want you to buy these bullets. And you kind of like open your coat a little and show the bullets. And Mercutio's like, let's not show for the love of showing. And he kind of like, gesticulates you back, but you did perform a slight social faux pas. Scampy, gain 1 edge when you see that because you're like, oh no, Kaz showing off the goods. But the guards,
Oops.
They're blatantly guards. It's kind of like, hover around as Mercutio takes you back here to a large black crate with a scratched out insignia on it. He pops the top and you see shotguns, revolvers, knives, oh my, come out on like a nice foldy tray. And he says, so, I'm Mercutio and you found your way to my store. I take it you're individuals who prefer to take fate by the horns rather than see what destiny has in store. So, what can I get you this fine evening? And what do you have to offer? He looks over at Kaz.
Now I can fully show him the wide variety, and also I will take out one of the slate cases and give it a little wiggle.
He's like, I think that would really go well on mine. You see, he does have what looks like the latest generation of actually Rin home ship slates, a commemorative one put out alongside the Spirit of Rin series, which is kind of like, imagine HBO, but like more explicit and more dramatic, involving a tentacle monster that was involved in the Spirit of Rin's actual, because like the Spirit of Rin was actually like first a ship and then a traveling caravan of the Rin historically. And then when they built their home ship, went to the stars, the Spirit of Rin is what went to the stars with them. And they have now made their own like HBO-ified version of their history that is like a very popular HoloVid series.
God, I love it.
Yeah, and so it's a commemorative one that's shaped kind of like a shell, but also it's got like a like creepy eldritch tentacles like coming out from around the edges. And so he's absolutely down for that, and he's like, I think I could take those off your hands. It'll take a while to turn for a spacer, but I could manage it. And I see you have a variety of rounds. And Scampy, do you offer your goods?
I just kind of take the trunk and poof. What do you like?
Mercutio's like, now then. Money for a man involved in, he looks over his shoulder and says, ideological concerns can sometimes be so distasteful. I propose an exchange. I see you're carrying electroshock guns. I'm assuming you guys are carrying them nakedly, but I'm assuming you might have them in your coat or something, but like sees enough of you wearing them. And says, I propose an exchange. Your munitions and commodities in return for one gun each. And say 3 loads of munitions per gun. And you would note, in addition to all of the guns that are kind of like not too heavy duty, he does have a scout rifle. It's not quite a sniper rifle, but it's pretty heavy duty long range. And he also has a drone. He has a little quadcopter drone for sale, which cause you'd know those are use systems for some of your tests on those. And if you fly them up to a data port, you can have them whip out their dongle, boop, boop, and then remote hack through your drone control terminal.
Oh, man. Would he accept?
I mean, so if this is his opening offer. If you want to drive a harder bargain and you're not taking the -2 anymore and communicate, you could do it. Also, you could roll. I mean, feel free to do whatever you'd like here, but yeah, you think you get a better deal out of him. Meanwhile, Uni, you're struggling to find the right vessel. You're struggling to find the right hat, and this person doesn't seem to have quite what you want in your catalog. How would you proceed?
Uni expects this. They have a very particular taste, so they don't expect just any random planet to have it anyway. That's why they didn't bring any hats with them to trade, because they did not prepare to actually find anything anyhow. So they will probably wander off to find the crew and have no clue where they are, though.
Yeah, so you're going to wander off in the direction of not the group or the group?
Well, if Voozy sees Uni pop out, Voozy's gonna just start waving.
Yeah, you see Voozy pop up on some metal and is like, "Hey, over here."
Uni will head that way.
The guard here is kind of like, really at the fucking gun deal? Come on. But he doesn't say that. He just conveys it through his face. Uni's now been very publicly brought over to the guns and other accessories alley in the rotted out structure. And Mercutio says, yes, I see we have a friend here. And a fine horn you have. Tell me, are you in search of a chapeau?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Are you in search of Are you in search of a chapeau?
I am always in search of one. Do you have any that can browse?
I have an associate on the far side of the system. They work in the accessory trade. I could put you two together. And do you guys want to make a drive here at this point on the deal for guns and quadcopter? Yes. All right.
I definitely want the scout rifle Definitely want the drone. The guns, actually, I'm less enthused about just because then I have to actually fire at things. And I'm kind of a coward.
Well, I mean, a scout rifle is a gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like the smaller guns for myself, I'm like, I don't want to be in the combat.
Yeah. So all right. So give me that communication, I'll lock that down. And if you want to throw out anything you think would be particularly convincing, you could say that, and that might give you a modifier.
We didn't really, well, I do have the alcohol on me.
Yeah, you've also got the, like, Scampy's knickknacks are of, like, contestable value. You could really upsell some of them. Like, there's a strange looking power cell. There's like an amethyst in there, you know. Okay.
Then yeah, we're gonna upsell those. I don't really want to part with my alcohol just yet. I might need that for the victory.
Yeah, you also might need that to tamp down the edge. Okay, yeah. So that's with 2 twists. You want, on top of succeeding, like, just like a general lowering the cost, you want the scout rifle, you want the drone. I
guess I'll take the smaller guns too, just so we have them.
So yeah. So like the guns that are available here are battle rifle, shotgun, revolver, and pistol.
Revolver. I gotta go with the revolver. That's sexy as hell.
You got the big iron. All right, and this is all in addition to the scout rifle. So yeah, y'all can grab. They've got like at least 4 of each. So basically, grab whichever one of these guns you think you would, if you think you would grab a gun. And Mercutio does, with that extra twist, flip over to your comm slate, Uni, a reference to someone known only as the topiary entity. And the topiary entity, or TE for short, does seem to be a seller of fine imports. Mercutio says, I see that we can do fine business here. You know, there's an exchange of goods made. There's no money trail. You get your guns, you get your ammo. You know, Mercutio is like whipping out the scout rifle. And you would note that the scout rifle has like ISC 74 engraved on the side of it, and like a little emblem that's been visibly scratched out. Yeah. The furniture definitely looks worn in terms of like the stock and such. This is definitely a weapon that's seen use. Mercutio would say, you know, I know that my friend, the topiary entity, has been stopping out by the old quarry a lot lately, although they were reluctant to reveal why. Looks all of you and says, I take it you're free merchants of a more free-minded variety.
You'd say that.
You
like our graffiti. Pirates. I'm going to just gently pat him on the head.
And kind of Mercutio looks askance at that, and then like nods and says, yes, well, graffiti is indeed an art that blossoms amidst the ruins. Perhaps you could find something interesting if you visited there.
Ask him one question about who or what entity is in charge
of the situation out there?
Of the situation here on the planet.
You mean like the authority, like so the Trinity runs the planet, or do you mean like criminally?
Criminally.
Okay, yes. So he says that's a contentious question to answer. I say if you do business for the love of doing business, you will beat down that business. But if you spread towards a goal, you'll find yourself there. Unfortunately, some of our neighbors are only interested in a turn of the chip, if you will. And you know that Raidus, the predominant Rascal Federation currency, take the form of poker chips. And Mercutio seems to be laying down that Mercutio is not necessarily in the crime gang to make money. He's got an ideological leaning. However, there seems to be an out-of-system could fall into conflict. And I mean, honestly, with that communicate that good, I'll say you kind of ingratiate. He leans in and says, "You seem like a fine sort, and I take it that you're not interested in seeing any unsavory elements overtake us." The reality is that the Scusa have arrived and hired a variety of mercenaries. They're making moves, but they don't make any sense to me. They have an objective here, not just making money, but it isn't clear. I think they might be operating somewhere northeast of the old quarry and out of the belt. There have been accidents.
Gee, that's funny.
Pretty ironic.
Oh?
When you say accident, do you mean a mining charge that goes off just as you're passing by?
The ground
while
is
another ship
dusty,
is in
right?
The ground is dusty. The ground is dusty from like dust storms and the like.
I'm gonna write down the XC-106 in the dust.
Oh, you like point your hoof and like
Yeah.
And Mercutio looks at you and says, "Ah, your uncle, of course. Were they a miner by chance?"
Yeah, they love to do a lot of mining.
Maybe
Just not
I
very
can
careful with their demolitions.
nods and says, "I'll look up their number. If you pass me your slate, if you pass me your slate contact, I'll get in touch."
Well, absolutely, I will.
Yeah, so Mercutio kind of intimates that he's willing to look into it for you. Yeah, but as you intimate, Mercutio says, yes, that would sound like the case. If you've fallen afoul of the Scusa already, one might advise you to run. But if they were already interested in you before you arrived, it might behoove you to find out why before you go. And you know that Scusa, it more or less means the family in Scopum, which is a common Ras tongue. They're the mafia. They are the mob.
The little otter mafia?
They're the little otter mafia. They're kind of gangsters. See, you don't want to mess with them. You'll wind up on the wrong side of the tracks. That's to say, tied to them. See. So, the Scusa are apparently here, and they have a mercenary assistance. Mercutio would add, not all of it's been the Scusa's MO. Some of it is more hit-and-run guerrilla tactics, more like you'd expect out of a far frontier mercenary organization. I don't know where they found them, but home ships go far from Trinity space. Maybe they collected them out there, or they operate out of one of those. He shrugs and says, "I hope these firearms find good use in self-defense," with a smile and a nod. And so y'all are strapped up. An important note: you all get one of those 4 guns of your choice. Who takes the battle rifle?
I mean, Voozy would be super jazzed to have. I'm assuming this is a pretty hulking machine compared to the others.
No, it's a pretty serious piece of hardware here.
Oh,
yeah. This thing is fit to put a hole in a boat, to be sure.
Is this longer than Voozy is tall?
You know, it very well could be, but you know, it's light enough that you're able to strap it up. But it is like waddling behind you.
Oh,
it adds like 2 feet of clearance.
Great. Oh yeah, Voozy would love that if no one has any complaints.
All right, yeah, you got that piece, and the quadcopter comes in a little carrying case. That you take. It has a prepared drone terminal. You know that drones undergo physical pairing with their terminal to prevent interference, and that's what Mercutio does. You guys have a nice little meeting. You got a lead. Important question, Uni. There are medical goods aboard the ship. Do you think you might have brought any or all of them?
Only the ones that Uni had in their own inventory.
All right. So you've got more aboard the ship, but you've got the ones in your inventory already. Yeah. Mercutio would add trucks often accept hitchhikers heading out north, or perhaps you could find a more pleasant vantage to view it from above. The graffiti, that is. So yeah, you guys right now your lead is the old quarry. Do you guys want to do anything to follow that up in particular, or are you guys going to punch out there?
Can we find maps of the area?
Oh yeah, so there's maps of the area that you have access to, but additionally, there's like the publicly known information. But like anything that's like more secure, like historical maps of military installations, might not be public info. And they might have been scrubbed even before they got cataloged. If anybody wanted to give me a systems test to do a deep dive.
Hey guys, do your thing.
All right. Now that I'm not. Ooh.
Would you like to reach that?
You know what? I would.
Mm-hmm. A reminder that alcohol you have can be used to lower your edge. It begins to have negative consequences, but you can do it, I'm pretty sure, like once without consequence.
At what point does my edge start to really mess me up?
If 3 of those little shock symbols appear, you suffer what's known as a level 3 shock or a traumatic shock, and it takes you out for potentially the rest of the scene if you can't pass a resolve or somebody else uses communicate to break you out of it. But at level 7, at 7 shock or 5 for a human, you can activate your edge break, which is your ultimate Final Fantasy limit break move.
Yeah, see, I want to build those. I need them.
Yeah. So, okay, you succeed, and do you want to, you go deeper. Whoop. You see the bunker on your map. It's near the old quarry, just east-northeast. Not only that, cause you see communication that looks like it's being bounced off of the dishes to make it look like it's coming from elsewhere. There's a comp mesh that combines all devices to create like the network, more or less, right? Because of that, you can more or less lie about the ID if you bounce it just right, so that at an immediate glance, it won't be mapped as coming from that area. But you see that there's plenty of communication, ostensibly coming from the old quarry, actually coming from the bunker. It looks like they've probably got some old dishes online.
Okay.
Not only that, in the floor plans, you see this is a 4-story bunker. There is the top layer, which is like 4 turrets to be in and shoot, and like the scaffold where the antennas are. There is the lower, there is the like, we shoot out in all directions like it's a pillbox level. There is the secure entrance and security room level, and then there is the living level. Although oddly, about 50% of the living level isn't accounted for. There's an excavation plan and a floor plan. You can't get either, but you see that they're about half the size, which is interesting. They excavated twice as much as they officially built, and this is already pretty deep information because the Imperial Scout Corps, while it was a military outfit, was on a lot of frontier units used more or less as a secret police. So it's not like this data is easy to get. On top of how well hidden their data is, there's something else there.
Well, I share that with the party.
All right. So the party knows that. The party knows where the bunker is, and the data, it's pretty well encrypted. It seems to be going to some in between places. If you can't get the key, you don't think you can crack this without, like, putting your AI on it for like 2 weeks, just brute forcing. So you'll need more info before you can get it in. But you know that they are communicating. Some serious smugglers in the system have been landing at a site nearby where all their comms are routed through. You guys want to take a, and there's a conflict between the SCUSA and their mercenaries and local ideological outfits. You guys have probably spent a lot of time in the frontier doing stuff like this before, right? You get the feel that Mercutio has Free Frontier front leanings, or F3. You think that he might not actually be pro-Trinity, but he's not necessarily like against you doing anything. And he doesn't know exactly what side you're on, but he gets the sense you're not SCUSA, and that's why he gave you that lead. That, and you did some thrifty business with them. So, what's the play here, Dreamers? You're in your shuttle at Rustport. You've got info on the bunker. You got basically as much as you think you're going to get remotely. What you going to do?
We have a drone.
We do have a drone.
You do have a drone. It is like a quadcopter. You're probably going to want to deploy that locally, unless you're going to wait a long time for it to fly out there.
Yeah.
Can we go about just as far as we would be out of range of their weapons?
Yeah. So if they had any AA or air to space or surface to air or surface to space, additionally, there are like craters along this planet from pre-atmospheric generation impacts that left like big moon crater sized impacts. It's built in one of them that gives it shielding from some detection and assault, because if you wanted to come up and shoot it, you'd have to expose your belly a bit more. But that also means as long as you fly low, particularly in the wind up to the old quarry, you should be able to have a hard break on radar detection and any straight shooting attacks. Theoretically, a Sidewinder missile could be launched up and come down on you, but this is a Trinity-controlled planet. If someone just pops off a fucking missile, like, the Peacekeepers are going to descend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, air traffic control is going to be like, it looks like there's a missile. And then someone's going to be like, oh, shit, and spill their coffee. You know what I mean? So that would be a hard break of their cover if they did that. You suspect they'd want to make it look like an accident. You know what I mean? In the same way that, technically speaking, if those asteroids had fucked you up,
It's an accident.
yeah, on the surface level, without a tight investigation that found the charge, was an accident. So yeah.
So looking at the map, are there any convenient ridges that we can also use as camouflage?
Yeah, there are. So the western ridge is going to get you the closest, and the bunker entrance is either on the top center or the southwest corner. So you'd be able to get a good layup if you want to land out in the stick, so to speak. Is that what you all would like to go with?
Is that a plan?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have the ship's autopilot coast you up to the edge, and your Koi is a decent autopilot. Your Koi spends one processing to not crash. So does anybody want to take the controls as you come a little close to Origin? It goes deep, 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 deep.
What does that go under?
It's going to be a operate test. It's under alacrity.
Do we have somebody with better than one operation?
Nope.
My alacrity's pretty good, so if Vuzi sees an opportunity to do something wicked sick, he'll probably call and say, "Oh, do I need to pull something cool off?"
It's better than crashing.
All right.
I'm going to regret those words.
Let's
I have
see.
a little faith in him.
Oh, that's 3
Actually, not
successes.
bad.
All right, you managed to expertly come to the perfect spot that lands in like a nice little like slight overhang. It's going to be hard to visually detect you. You guys pile out, and Uni, you have like synth sensors, right? You pick up on like a mewling cry in the distance. And it sounds like some sort of thing in pain. You want to go respond?
You would tell the crew. And what direction is he hearing it from?
It's south along the ridge.
Could you, by chance, see it from where they are?
Give me a scrutiny.
Look towards it. Scrutiny.
You see red blood when you look in that direction. Yeah, you see it looks like a wolf that has been shot. Some blood. It looks like it got shot maybe on top of the ridge and then like fell down here. The blood is fresh. Its wound is pretty severe. You want to head over there?
What
You would tell
shot
the
it?
crew what it looks like, but he actually is a little more. I'm trying to think of the word here. Not sympathetic.
All right. All right. Yeah.
So unless the crew wanted to, he would actually more look at it as a way to say that they may be watching the ridge, and it could be dangerous if we get too
Lunch.
close.
What was that, Scampy?
Lunch?
No. How
I never get to eat anything.
far out is it?
It is only about 10 meters from your secured alcove. And again, the ridge largely covers. It had to have been standing up here. You can see the dust where like it got shot and fell hard away from the impact. So you could stand next to it without being in visible range of the bunker. And if anybody wants to sneak up to the ridge and start peeking, give me a maneuver to give me your sneaky.
Boozy would love to try to sneak up there.
All right. And is anybody headed to the wolf's side?
I'm going to sneak up on the wolf.
Yeah.
I want to.
You stay crouched. Wolf looks like not in a good way. Do you want to try and like either assess its situation or staunch the bleeding?
Does it look like it can be saved? Yeah.
Give me a medicine to assess it.
Got nothing in medicine. Oh,
That's reversed my build when I was medicine.
Yeah, so you succeed. You successfully appraise that it is it's lost a lot of blood, but it could potentially be saved. It's not going to need a transfusion, but it will need a lot of rest. And you assume that it's already looking lean. It's probably isolated from its pack. It seems to have wandered here from the local ecological preserve, possibly because there's a shortage of meat in the area or some other thing that would drive it to come out to the dusty plains where there are some burrowers that they can hunt. With that extra twist, do you want to know more about the nature of the impact wound, like in potentially what it got shot with, or do you want to know more about what could be done to save the wolf?
the impact wound. I am going to wave Uni over here, though.
All right, Uni, you're getting waved. You gonna head up?
Yes, he will head over there.
And Scampy, are you moving up to a stealthy position to sneak a peek?
I'll back up Fuji.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, give me that maneuver.
My whopping nothing.
All right.
Ooh.
So yeah, it looks it looks like somebody with a scout rifle. Actually, it's the right. You actually managed to get up on your, like, as you're examining it, your glasses give you like a little detector mode. You can see the metal. The round has thankfully barely fractured and should be extractable. The entrance wound is significant. There is no exit wound. Lots of blood has been lost. The bleeding needs to be staunched more or less immediately, and probably the bullet needs to be taken out, although you could theoretically not do that, and it would live with a bullet in it. Not great long-term survival, particularly when it's already got a long recovery period. What's the play?
Yeah, let's do what we can to save this wolf. Now we have a pet wolf.
All right, and whatever your medicine skill points are an assist to Uni, I'm assuming, because I'm assuming you're going to have Uni do this.
I have nothing extra in medicine.
All right, Uni. Well, because you assessed well what to do, I'll count this as a modifier 1. Uni, do you have any surgical tools?
I have medical supplies.
Okay, so that's going to be a modifier of 1. So give me a medicine modifier 2, and you're gonna like reach in there with your synth hands and go dink, get the bullet out, and then wrap them up.
I do have a 2 on my medicine as well, if I needed. And 8 total in cognition.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see that roll.
Just click the medicine button and pop in 2 modifier. Oh my god! With the super twist,
Yes.
you're able to positive ID complete retrieval of all of the metal, and in fact, it goes from 0 to 1 HP health as you manage to restore it. You've done a great job. The next time you're doing field surgery on a bullet wound, you're going to get 1 automatic success. Wolfo is up. Wolfo looks at you and, like, kind of afraid, but now, like, feeling better. Meanwhile, Scampy and Voozy, you've got an Overwatch position. This is what you see.
Dark.
Yeah, I'm copy-pasting you twice. I forgot to put dino lighting between the zones. One moment. So top left, top right is the highest quadrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top left is the more surface area. And you see there's an entrance in the bottom left, but it's down a bit. But you guys do see there is what looks like a human wearing some pretty serious armor, who's kind of looking out, holding a scout rifle. They seem to be patrolling. They looked in that direction, but they seem to be sort of making a casual saunter around the top here. They put a hand to a head, wait a moment, and then put their hand back down and saunter some more. They don't look like they're on a very high alert patrol. They're up on the upper gantry. We can gain access to the comms equipment. So it's not like he's bunkered up. Which one, if he was expecting hard, getting shot at, he might be in one of the 4 top bunkers to fire from a safety slit. That's not a situation. Aside from that, you can see that the upper areas look largely abandoned. They got some lockers and stuff in them, but they don't look like they're very actively peopled or anything. They got shelves, they got bunkers and stuff. You don't see a preponderance of people moving around, but you do see that dude. Based on the size profile, it looks like a human. They're not, they don't have hooves. Probably not a Thren, definitely not a Mirai. So
Could be a Noseway.
Maybe not too likely. If you want to scout him out closer, give me a scrutiny.
Do I have a scrutiny? There it is.
I'll try too, but it's not gonna look good for me.
Yeah, so you note that their scout rifle isn't like yours. It's clean, no serial numbers to begin with, probably a RAST production from one of the less reputable outfitters or a latter-day manufacturer in one of the various frontier human facilities that still prints and manufactures that stuff. Not an official piece of hardware for the military, not a historical piece of human empire tech, just a recent rendition on the same model. You also would note there's a shoulder patch area for a flag or a designation or something. It doesn't have anything on it. It's got just a pure black patch. And yeah, so no obvious affiliation, hard to trace gun. That's what you guys managed to scout, and everything you see here remains true. So yeah, you guys are on the ridge. Wolfo healed, round removed. If you wanted to do forensic science on the bullet, you could see if there's any manufacturing hallmarks.
I think that's worth doing just for later notes.
Yeah, give me I would say a systems or a mechanics could be used, or you guys could do both and maybe gain both knowledges if Scampy wants to scamper down and give a mechanics go.
I'll kind of scamper down the hill and head over.
Vuzi will stay up here to keep an eye on the guy with the gun, just in case he looks like he's spotted any of us.
Yeah, you're free to try either of the tests as well.
We'll do systems.
All right, so yeah, cause, you're examining it. Uni, you're examining it. What both of you got as a baseline of your information there is this Scampy. So
I'm gonna do the thing.
Reach.
All right.
Yep. Hold on.
Yeah, gain 1 edge and give us that roll again. Cause immunity. The bullet has been made to spec recently, and cause you get the sense that it was due to the forming of it. Maybe not exactly. It looks like it's a surplus munition, not like high quad or anything. Scampy.
I'm clueless.
Oh no.
Scampy, just you come up nil with that extra twist. Actually, cause what you get is This is not an entirely lead bullet. It looks like there's almost a shaving in there of galena. It looks like they are. They probably have a lot of galena on hand, and they are probably so it's mostly lead and partially silver, right? They are probably using. They probably have an asteroid or a mine that just has galena in it, and they are probably just using low quality, fast and dirty techniques to mint the rounds. So that tells you that this was not up to the Imperial Scout Corps did not shoot anything like this out of their guns. This is definitely latter day and made by a less legitimate, more profit-driven organization.
But I also get the sense that it's being made locally.
So when you cross-reference, the problem is there's not enough mining done on the planet anymore for this to make sense. But you know that only 15% of the belt has been officially prospected and is on record. And that some free merchants are a little close-fisted about their results. And there are a degree of like semi-permanent asteroid bases run by just sort of whoever with little to no oversight, because this is the frontier and that's kind of how it goes. Permits be damned. One of those could churn out a bullet like this pretty easy as long as they have the primer. And if you have, I don't know, a preponderance of explosives, maybe because you're a miner, maybe that wouldn't be too hard to figure out. And you could probably get the brass for casings easy too.
You know what? This is a bullet.
Yeah, you Scampy really ponders it. Thinks it might be like a lozenge that goes to a board game, but then no. Look at this.
No,
Put
it's
the
actually
pieces
a
together. Bullet. Yeah, you're like 70% sure it's a bullet. That is, but yeah, it could be a manga piece. But or what's the name of that game with the rocks? I digress.
Mancala.
Scampy, do you need a Snickers?
Yeah. So you guys are Vuzi, you've scouted them out. Do you have your own scout rifle out? Is a good question, Vuzi.
Oh, I have the battle rifle, but
okay, you got a battle rifle. Now the battle rifle has an effective range 100 meters, long range 200 meters. They're not quite within 100, but they are within 200. That's a -2 for long range, but aim offsets that. You could be lining up a shot on that person if you want. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're lining up.
Definitely, like the entire time, just in case, because we know that this person is keeping an eye out. Vuzi would want to like basically be trained on him in case he makes any moves to like attack us in any way.
And here's an important note. I should have had you guys do this earlier. When Mercutio would have let you take, you have 3 loads of ammo for whatever weapon you chose. Just lock in which of the weapons you chose, and also know that you could have taken either the less than lethal dart or tase round option that won't really affect like if you shoot a turret with a tranq dart, the turret doesn't care, but it will put down a person. Although they do get an endurance test to remain standing, but you'll non-lethally do it. Or you just have a regular bullet. Fun fact about regular bullets: very lethal. It's not impossible that you save somebody you shoot with the gun, but odds are good you're going to kill them. So you can choose like how many of those loads are lethal or less than lethal. You can go all one, none of the other, or a mix at your preference.
Okay.
But yeah, that's more or less the situation. Just lock in that for your own knowledge. You guys have the info. You have the wolf who kind of like looks up and like licks you on the knee. He's like,
Aww.
Yeah, I'm
So
naming it emergency rations.
Yes.
That's its name.
emergency ration. It seems to respond to the call of emergency rations suddenly. ER here licks you and looks up like, oh. You got Puppo acquired.
Good boy.
It responds well. It seems to be melding with its new pack quickly.
You realize we left Fuji alone. He's going to do something that he thinks is cool, right?
Well, let's hope that it's actually cool then, huh?
What are the odds of this?
So Vuzi, I want to say you're partially overhearing this conversation. You have your gun trained on this guy. What do you think you do?
So Vuzi, what he would like to do is, if he can see everyone else, he would point at the wolf and point at the guy to see if, if this is the culprit.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the shot was just too. I mean, you don't know how many people are in that bunker and what they're rocking, but the most obvious solution is definitely that person with the scout rifle on patrol shot a wolf and decided to shoot it because any variety of reasons, including they're a dick.
All right, I'm taking the shot then.
Make me a, I'd say clean ballistics because your modifiers are evening out for range and aim, but a battle rifle is actually a mod 2 gun. So give me a ballistics modifier 2 and I can pump that into I'll pump that gun
2.
into the, this table that I'm about to share with the group chat has all of the gun stats, but I'm also looking at them so I can throw it out for all y'all at your preference. But yeah, so
I'm gonna take an edge to make this the
reroll and
hopefully make this the cleanest shot.
All right, modifier, modifier 0. Gain 1 edge and modifier 0. We're gonna see how well you plunk them.
Okay, that's one more success. So 3 total.
All right. So you are hitting them with a battle rifle, which has an AP of 3. They are they're like suited up in some armor, but they don't have any cover.
I'd say once I got the confirmation that this is the guy who hurt the wolf, Vuzi switches it to a lethal round.
All right. Their armor does nothing for them. The impact, you take them unawares. You pump 4 damage. Wait a minute. Before I do this, would you do it instantly, or would you spend a minute lining up an assassination attack? An assassination attack has a chance of dropping this person in one go.
Oh, hell yeah, I want to do that.
We're calling it an assassination attack.
You don't hurt the wolf and get away with it.
All right, you click on their head. They have to make an endurance against the attack, and they don't succeed. They die in one hit as they just there's a 3-round burst blows through their center of mass. They fall. They hit the gantry. There's blood. Based on the fact that they were touching their helmet, you get the sense that they were in communication with someone. Hopefully they weren't mid-text. But so there's a dead body now. It is probably time to move in if you guys want to keep the element of surprise. But the scout on duty is now the corpse on the gantry.
Unit gives 2 thumbs up to Vuzi.
And Vuzi happily returns the 2 thumbs up, nearly dropping his gun.
Oh, does emergency rations come with you guys? Do you signal for them to stay back?
I signal for them to stay back.
All right.
1 HP. I'm not trying to drag them into further death.
They're like, woo, and they stay on the ship. Your companion will join you on your spaceship. All right. So, So, okay, you got a ridge. It's like there's lots of curves to it. There's lots of cuts to it. There's lots of places to slide down. Lots of places to trip and fuck up your ankle. Unless you're, have a climb speed and 10 legs, in which case you just see a nice BMX course to drift along.
Hey, I'm one of those.
People without climb speeds, do you want to descend slowly and not have to make a test, but kind of spend some time caught out? Or do you want to do a cool kick slide through the dirt as a maneuver test to, descend rapidly?
You said the magic word.
I said the magic word. I'm really leading my players here as a DM. By the way, we listen.
It's okay. We love it.
There is a Change Stars OST that I play some in the Roll20. Just so you all know, Cole E. Thomas on Bandcamp is where you can find that. Some of the tracks are for your sample. And this is called Hunted. It is the Newsboy theme because someone in the scenario is now hunted. Whether it is you or the enemies, well, we'll find out. I'm assuming Scampy descends with a 10-legged gusto.
I flow like a river.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kaz, Vuzi, Uni, give me that maneuver to descend. Bear in mind, if you're wearing a maintenance rig, it's a -1 to the maneuver test.
I guess I'm gonna have to.
And a reminder, because you're communally doing this, you can share successes if you see your buddies kind of fucking up.
Oh,
So I should still roll?
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Scampy, if you want to help out your buddies, you could, and they would purely be to help them out. But cause you trip, you're like, oh no, my hooves. And you're about to eat shit. The forward slide rather than the back slide, that's no good. That's where the pretty horns are. You can't have that getting scuffed.
None of us could get that.
So important
I'll
note.
reach to see if I can help.
Yeah, and Uni, if you want, you could spend a processing to reroll that, and anybody's free to reach this.
And how many processing do I have?
How many whats do you have?
Ooh.
Four. You have 4 processing.
Okay.
You wanna spend 1?
Yeah, we'll try to use one.
All right. And you can pump it again.
I've got 2 successes and a shock now.
Okay. Vuzi, you go to stabilize your friends. Suffering the level 1 shock. You drop your battle rifle and it goes and scatters along the ground down the ridge ahead of you, landing. It's landed like right near the entrance to the bunker.
Shit.
And all of y'all are up here. So okay, Vuzi. Does anybody else want to reach before I narrate the finalities? All right.
Oh.
Okay. That's great.
Wow.
That's good.
Oh man.
So Scampy, and you're trying to help your friends. You're in the mix.
Yeah, let me.
You don't have to reach if you don't want to, because you're seeing that there's going to be enough for everyone, but you're in the area, and that's important to establish for what's about to happen.
Yeah. I probably can't help them any further.
I do have drop, so I can reduce edge to 0. Just so y'all know.
All right. So so Kaz, you grab okay. Vuzi, you help stabilize one of your party members. Who?
Oh. I'll help stabilize Kaz if I can.
All right, so you help stabilize Kaz. Kaz, once you're back on your hooves, you see Uni is about to and like synth plant face first. You pop back, you grab him, and you start hyperventilating. And you're like, oh fuck, because once you had a really formative experience falling down a hill as a child, and you like chipped a horn, very traumatic. Thankfully, it regrew in puberty, but it was not a fun time. And you're like, fuck, as you say, deek, which is actually more the Threntley equivalent, which means rot. Because fuck is much more casual in Thren society. And Kaz, like Vuzi, you come to help Kaz bear hugs both of you. Kaz standing like up to Mika, but generally speaking, like 6 to 9 feet tall. You bear hug both from above and like lean back and get both of them. You totally freak out. And you actually grab Scampy in the process and bring the whole party down with you. With that level 2 shock, everyone who has edge gains 1 edge, but Kaz does manage to help land it so nobody gets hurt and you all get down relatively low.
Well, that was graceful. Where's the gun?
The gun is 1 meter away from this door, and at this time, you guys are down. Like there's like a ditch down, like a depressed area where this door goes in 1Z level below these slots, right? So you guys are actually here. Let me light layer that door right quick.
I appear to have lost the map.
Yeah, that's because I've moved you. Don't worry, I'm gonna hard shift ping this once I speed map the proper floor here. But yeah, there's like a bit of a ridge here. You're down a bit in the slope, and yeah, there's a door with like a little port that could be plugged into if anybody wants to. And I'm assuming Vuzi goes and retrieves his gun. Vuzi, the mechanism looks jammed. Someone's gonna have to make a mechanics test successfully to unjam that.
I hold out a flipper.
Thanks, Scampy.
So, Unicorn, Cause, as that's happening, is there anything y'all would want to do with this door?
Yeah.
Uni would not look at the door yet. We'll actually walk to the group and start pulling out different medicines and ask, does anyone need attention?
Calm down.
I'm so sorry about your luck, by the way, Sam.
With the reach, huh?
I'm so sorry about your luck, but yeah, it looks like we're going for the reach here, huh?
Yep.
And do you have any talents that might help you with fixing stuff?
Actually, I have the multi-tool, which is a plus.
I'll give you.
Plus
it's a modifier of 1. I mean, you're probably wrenching to bang the side of the gun. Just roll 1d6 to see if on an off chance it helps you.
I'm sorry, just roll a 1.
Yeah, just roll 1d6.
How do I do that in Roll20?
I'll pop it for you real quick. Sorry, I wasn't. So yeah, just so roll with the modifier of 1 now again if you want to reach.
Okay, let's do that.
And Uni is offering, drop other medicines if anybody wants to be maybe reduce that edge going into a potentially stressful situation.
Trying to build the edge up.
Yeah.
Vuzi will look at Uni, and it's like, I'd say we've probably traveled together enough that for Vuzi in these situations, like, he kind of thrives under pressure, except for he needs just minor encouragement. So if it's just like a pat on the head, you know that Vuzi will be ready to rock again.
The 3 successes, 2 shooks.
All right. All right. So
Uni would walk up to Vuzi and offer a fist bump and say, "The shot was cool."
Nice. So a level 2 shock, Scampy. You cram it in, you're like, I've got it. And then the gun, you've accidentally modified the gun to temporarily fire fully automatically. It fires like all of its rounds off. The BR9 was actually like a Thren gun with an interesting like circular plate that the bullets like come out of. It like as if there was like a ripcord. Like you basically Beyblade the magazine. The bullets go everywhere. The gun is empty. That's 1 reload that you're gonna have to spend. But Scampy, if you'd like, you could make the full auto feature permanent addition to that gun. These guns weren't made for it, so long term it will break down, but for the purpose of this fight, it's definitely fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, well, congratulations. Vuzi, you just got a cooler battle rifle. And it now has the full auto quality as well.
This is Vuzi's day, because he's got a cooler gun that he didn't even have at the start of the day, and also Uni said his shot was cool. So he's on cloud 9.
I totally meant to do that.
Cause, I'm assuming that you've got your slate or comm box out.
Yep.
You've achieved. All right, you've removed the dongle. You've got in. It's hack time. Give me that systems test. I'm gonna say it's -1 because it looks like there is some decent security here. This is an old military facility that's turned on. You're seeing some red swipes saying civilian access denied. Civilian access denied. Give me that roll again. If you want. You don't have to reach it. You don't have to reach it. And do you have any talents that help with hacking? Do you have intruder specialist?
Not with a lock. I have Signal Surfer, but that's not really going to help with this situation.
Okay.
It would have helped earlier in space, but it's not going to help with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you climbed to 5. You were given the hack. Okay, you're serving the system. You see that you need a key for outside access, the O key, if you will. You also glean that there's an I key for the internals of some of the deeper parts. And now the decisive...
Is it still -1?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
You get in with a twist. With a twist, you could either try and... Okay. Do you want more information about the devices that are keyed to the O key, or more details about the whole facility, like maybe what's down below?
Down below. I want to know about.
You see the signature of what looks like an AI core. Would have had to be here. It doesn't look like it's active, but it looks like there's a lot of secondary servers and stuff that are still online for it.
Something like that.
Also, you have the O key. What that means is that any device that requires the O key and would function normally, you can just go swipe, and it will do its due diligence. You don't know what every device on the O key is right now, and that's only going to work if you're giving it at an approved terminal. But it'll also give you a strong bonus to hack devices on the O key to make them do something they're not supposed to. Like if you want to make a power conduit explode itself on the O key, that's not a function it's supposed to have, but you can still try it. And you could try and digitally jump between gates here if you want to spend longer hacking, or you could just open the door.
Does it seem like we have time to do that?
Well,
right now, you guys haven't heard any response. All you know is you shot someone who was apparently in communication with other people, and that man is now quite dead up top. So you
any
don't
of us
know.
think to check
Literally,
him out?
you don't have a great idea of how much time you have.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Systems.
Give me that systems. And you see that there is a node nearby called upper security. Do you want to punch into that and gain its functions?
Yes.
Give me a systems modifier 3.
Whoa. Oh.
Upper security controls has some door nodes. Importantly, there is one node called turret control, and there is another called camera control. You have gained access to both.
Sick.
Yep. And what happens is you freak the fuck out when you see a room full of goons. So I'm going to give you guys control access and should show you the vision from the camera. And I will also give you guys, I think I'll give you vision from the turret, but let's just say you could add yourselves as friendly IFFs if you want to the turret.
Yes.
You know there's one in here. Okay, so you're all deemed friendly at the moment. Your level 2 shock cause, you start freaking the fuck out because you see 2 Thren, a Veer, and a human, all of them kind of like relatively decked out. There's a dandy looking Thren who's not too well armed, but they've got a laser pistol. The Veer pirate has a sword and a gun. This human merc seems similarly equipped, and they're like, someone's like saying, you can't tell what they're doing, but they're putting their hand to their head and they're saying stuff. There's not mics on this camera, and they're kind of like beginning to give like knife hands. And the door opens. The door opens, and the 2 Thren and the Veer move up north, and this guy kind of like gets up in position and aims towards the door. Actually, no, they don't. They also head through the door, but they head for another internal door.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that is kind of freaky.
And as you freak out, you feel yourself, you kind of feel yourself like really like embedded in your boots here. You are not going to be able to move. All movement is going to be difficult terrain to you until the end of your next turn. And right now, I'm going to say, basically, you've got the player's turn, and you got the NPC's turn. We're not strictly in initiative yet, but let's just say that's probably going to happen, depending on how this goes down. And so, Kaz, for the moment, unless you manage to snap out of this with a successful resolve test, you can only move 1 meter this turn. If you want to, you could try a resolve to snap out of it, but that does have the risk of triggering a larger shock.
Why not?
All right, you try and select yourself out, and this is like free allocation. Whenever y'all want to move, you can move. Oh yeah, you drop your slate. Your slate's on the ground, and you can only move 1 meter. It's a side action to pick it up. Uni, you notice that one of your party members is exhibiting signs of high stress. You think that if you soothed them, they might help them get over it. Do you want to make a communicate test?
Sure.
Yeah, therapy
I have a
protocol.
decent bit in there.
Yeah. All right, Kaz,
wow.
you break out of the movement shock. You still have to spend a side action picking that thing up, but you have your full movement on your turn. Everyone, you are free to spend your action economy and stuff like that as you will. There are main actions and side actions. You can downgrade your main action to a side action. You can delay either of them. If you want to do something like shoot someone, that's normally a main action. If you want to aim or shove, that's normally a side action. If you want to reload a gun, that's a main action unless you have the rapid reload side action. Unicorn and I'm saying Uni, you don't have to do any action for that quick therapy bout because you get the twist to do it fast. But you all have a movement dependent upon your species that'll be listed under movement. I know synths have 7. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Thren have 8.
Yeah.
And yeah, as one of your Thren things, you can dash as a side action. What do you guys want to do?
I communicate that they are north. Can I hack the cameras remotely at this point from my slate?
If it's on the O key, you can communicate with them, but you know there's only one cam on this level. And you think that if there's other cams, they're not under the O key. They're under the I key.
Okay.
You see there's some consoles in here. They might be a good jumping off points to make ingress to the deeper in the system.
Yeah. If we can get to them alive.
Did you open it?
Yes. Yeah, it's open. See, it's open.
Okay, Vuzi, go get him.
So the door slides open. You see the room beyond. You see there's a vent, which anyone Rast shaped might be well equipped to clamber through. And you see there's a further door beyond. And yeah, at this point, I would say what you do have is you have line of sight door opening, Kaz. If you can see it, you can click a button on your slate and watchdogs it. If you'd like, you could open this further door.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming you also hand out the O key to your pals, so any of them are free to go through the doors, and the turret reads you all as friendly. You could also update the IFFs on the turret to make it think other people aren't friendly.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
All right. You're removing access because it thinks that you're an administrator and it's set up very simply. It's not questioning that. Basically show me. Okay, who wants to rush into this room? Vuzi, absolutely, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Scampy, you thinking it?
Um,
And remember, Scampy, you have a climb speed, and there are like topside bunker. If you want to pop up, that's an option.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop up.
All right,
Let's
so
see what's
you
going up there.
So it costs you like 1 meter to get up to like here-ish. There's windows.
Okay.
There are like, think of like D-Day pillbox slot windows. Very hard to get through, although for a new squad, not technically impossible. It would be like a maneuver -3. Or you could go up to the surface where you see there's like a ladder port entrance. You want to go there?
Yeah.
So at this juncture, you have moved 2 meters, and this is where you are.
Do I see the dead guy, by the way?
Yes, and they're behind this turret, but you know that they're top right here. Because there's like 4 little mini bunkers on top of the bunker for you to get up and shoot at a higher vantage from.
How hungry is Scampy still?
Yeah, Scampy, you didn't get to eat that wolf earlier.
Yeah, I'm hungry. So I moved 2 meters.
You've moved 2 meters thus far, so that leaves, I believe, 6 in the tank, unless I'm misremembering. It's a square to a meter, so if you wanted to get like here-ish, like near this entrance, or like here-ish, that would be 6
if
meters.
I can get like here-ish.
Yeah, you're up behind this corner.
And try to just get a better view, because I don't want to rush over there if the rest of them are there.
You even see the porthole. It looks like it's not popped open right now, but it could be. If you want to, do you have a gun in hand?
I grabbed a shotgun.
That's just within the prime range of a shotgun. Do you want to ready an action to pop the first person who comes out of there?
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. I'll put a little clock on you to designate that.
Then I just, if I could communicate with the rest over comms. Top is clear at the moment.
Comms clear, yeah. Top's clear. So, Vuzi, you're entering. There's a door. There's a vent. Do you want to get like hard up along the door? Do you want to try and pop into the vent?
Ooh.
It would take a mechanics to pop open the vent, though. You don't know if you have that time. You could go for it.
Right. In this case, I think I'll stay like in this area just so like everyone else piling in, I'll be able to keep an eye out.
And would you like to similarly like ready in action if someone comes around that corner, they're about to eat lead?
Absolutely.
All right. Uni and Kaz, what do y'all where would y'all be position wise?
You would probably go in shortly behind Vuzi, but they would keep a distance. They wouldn't be like close up. Yeah,
for sure. And Kaz, you're in
just
here.
in case they get shot or something.
Kaz, you're in here. You just want to be like in this corner more or less?
Yeah, for the moment.
This room seems to have been cleared out. The other one too, but you see like debris and crates in the other room you can see on the cameras. So this is more or less where you are as the enemy begin to go into positions. The first raid action to pop is Scampy's up top. A thrown with a laser pistol in hand pops out the top. Give me that shot.
I will give you that shot. And let's see, that would be ballistics.
Correct, and modifier 3 for the shotgun.
Okay. Where's ballistics? Modifier 3.
Mm-hmm. They got some very light armor. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
You can spend twists on shots in different ways. It's important to note that because there's a super twist available to ranged attacks where you can invoke bleed on an enemy, which causes them to lose 1 health, bypassing stamina at the end of each of their turns until the bleeding is staunched. You'd be doing that instead of using an extra 3 damage on that shot. For reference, the way this works is when you succeed at all with your gun's attack, you deal the gun's damage. First success, 2 damage. Each extra twist is worth 1 damage. So, and you can do twists like pinning people and stuff like that, but I'm assuming you want damage or bleed. You'll still have 1 extra. So you could do 3 damage and invoke bleed on this target if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So you damage them for 2. They're almost to their stamina. More importantly, the buckshot all up the side means blood coming out through their nice suit that's been ruptured. They're bleeding. They're in bleed. With that, the shotgun blast kicking the ass, they drop down. They're like, ah. Dang. A Veer pirate starts coming around the corner. Vuzi, your angle on them isn't great, so they're getting some cover from the corner, but you have a shot. You want to take it, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Give me that shot. The battle rifle's modifier is 2.
Okay. Modifier 2. Here we go. 2 successes, 1 shock. Oof.
All right. So here's what you see. Here's what you know. You are shooting at this enemy. You hit them. However, you also shoot the door and ding the door and break its opening mechanism. It's like it's locked into an open mode.
Oops.
Oof.
Yeah. So they've got a bit of extra armor from their cover. I would just say, because they're wearing like, you know, a little bit of armor, a little bit more. AP 2 means it's down a bit. Okay, they're knocking 1 of those points of damage. You're dealing 2 points of damage. They don't seem terribly hurt by that. They continue their movement. Somebody else moves up into position. All right. At this juncture, there is a little button that says initiative in the top right of your character sheets. If you click on your token and have the blue boxes around it and don't click off, and then click the blue initiative button, it will put you right to the tracker.
Sick.
let's see, where am I?
Top right. You're far top right.
Okay, hold on. There I am. So just click on me?
Yep. Click on yourself and then click the button.
Okay. Where is it? Initiative is over. Where is it? I can't find my initiative. There it is. Big giant word that says initiative. Not great.
Yep. And last but not least, our dandy. So you guys are leaping into action. There is a shootout evolving in this bunker. And yeah, let me just order that real quick. All right. Someone you don't see does something you don't know.
How dare they?
Vuzi, it is your turn. You know that the Veer kept moving to the west. Do you want to pop through this door and see what's up? Pop in the door and see what's up.
Absolutely.
All right, you see him there in cover. A bit away. You want to take that shot?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. If you aim as your side action, that's a modifier of 2. Overall modifier of 4.
I would love to.
Also, if you want to full auto, you'll have to make a resolve to not run out of ammo, but you will force them to make a resolve because they'll be suppressed.
Oh snap! Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. This is the modification that Scampy made on my weapon.
Yeah,
right?
you squeeze in this one part because it's not supposed to be full auto, and it goes full auto. So yeah, modifier 4.
Okay.
Okay.
And then resolve.
Yeah, roll resolve because it's too cool. You're blasting. Like, ah.
Oh no.
You succeed, but in the process you fumble with your carabiner and you drop one of your mags and it falls through the doorway. So one of your reloads is out there, but you didn't run out of ammo this time. But remember, because your earlier thing got spent, the only ammo you have is in your gun and on the floor, unless somebody else brought a battle rifle and wants to swap with you. So Vuzi, that's your main action. That's your side action. You have, I believe, 6 meters movement. You've only moved 1 meter this far this turn. You got 5 meters to spend if you want to go anywhere else.
Oh man. Okay. Is there anywhere in the room that I'd be able to make it to? Because they're behind cover, right? Is there any cover in there?
So it looks like when you cast about between some of the vents, there is some pipery, and this it doesn't provide much, but it is some form of cover, and it looks like it's got some stuff supposed to be piped through it. You don't know if it's active or not.
Okay, I'll try to move there.
All right, and you go for it. You give me a maneuver. You're about to be 1 meter short. Give me a maneuver for that action slide. Okay. We all know Vuzi would go for the action slide.
Oh, you know it.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I'm reaching that. I definitely, when it's cool, I have to reach.
That's cool. You got to reach. That's the written rule. We're writing that down.
That's the law.
Yes!
You perfectly find up in here. You have good cover from this position. Uni, they're shooting. There's conflict. What do you want to do at this point?
Well, he was going to prepare to give a drop to Vuzi because he was having some struggles going on there. But they're not very much of a fighter. They probably would have grabbed the revolver because that just makes something cool a medic would have. Yeah, but they might try to peer through the doorway to see if they can get a shot, but they went on into the room yet.
All right, so you're going to go into the room to angle a shot, but you're not going to take it?
Like more like right here, try to get through the doorway.
All right, and you want to hold an action to shoot? What's the trigger on that? Just somebody gives you a nice exposed shot?
They would try to shoot now if they had.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You've got a shot. You got a shot at the Veer pirate. Yeah. You want to make that attack?
What do I roll?
So, what kind of gun do you have?
He would have. They would have got the revolver when they did.
All right. You got a big iron. Modifier 1.
But what roll is it? I'm sorry.
Ballistics.
6.
Sorry. Ballistics is how you shoot the gun. So yeah, you come through, unicorn horn, gun in hand, come through the door rocking the 4-4. Do you want to spend some processing to calculate that and really quickly have the math fly in behind the screen? You're like,
Yeah, they'll try once more.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, that's a hit. So that's a damage 3 weapon with AP 2. The cover is still going to give him some defense, but you're blowing through their armor. And that's not enough. You've downed their stamina and you're into their health, but they have a lot. I mean, they're tanky, but you managed to clip them with a revolver round. That's rocked their body. They're large rhinoceros like skin, shows blood. Where do you want to move from there?
They'd step back out of the way in case Cause wanted to go in.
All right. It's somebody else's turn. You don't know what they're doing. It is Kaz's turn. Kaz, what do you want to do?
Oh, I'm not seeing the boxes as clearly. Hold on. I'll do the measurement because.
Let me help you with that.
Sure. I want to get to Zuzi's ammunition.
Are they more clear now?
Him. Oh, yeah.
All right. So you could want to move the closest you get. You can move 5 meters to the doorway. Pick it up here as a side action. I'll let you use the same side action. Throw it. Give me a ballistics to see how well you toss this magazine.
Oh no.
I believe.
You believe?
Oh no!
Cause keeps grip on the magazine, holds the flap, yanks forward. The bullets scatter all over the floor. Cause and Vuzi both gain 1 edge. There's now 1 unloaded battle rifle magazine. And the last loaded one is in Vuzi's gun. So Vuzi, be real careful on that fire control. And for reference, you guys don't run out of ammo after a certain number of shots, but when on an attack, you devote a lot of your twists to extra damage. For example, the reason that the shotgun didn't run out last time is actually because the super twist of bleed got made. Because if you devote 2 or more twists to damage from the shotgun, you run out. So, Cause, side action down, bullets on the floor. You have like the circular disc magazine that the battle rifles use, and the Veer pirate heckles you, saying, "Keep helping! You're giving me the advantage."
Fire at his face if I can.
Yeah, you're like, "Fuck you!" Yeah. All right, what kind of gun?
I have a revolver.
Yeah. Again, like second verse, same as the first. Modifier 1 ballistics. Important note: this is a ballistic. This is an ammo 2 gun. Do you want to empty your revolver all 6 chambers, or do you want to do 1 on damage and 1 on pin to maybe try and force them to be like a little bit more, like constrained in their movement, or like have to give up something to break cover?
I take 1 second to look at Zuzi, and I know that he wants this kill, so I'm gonna do the pin.
All right.
Oh, sick.
That's fascinating. Oh no. What if I told you that even with the pin, you actually deliver them? Wait a minute. Are you using lethal or non-lethal rounds?
Lethal. I'm not fooling around. I tried.
Unfortunately, you try to pull your punch, but the pirate slumps back. Actually, anybody watching the pirate could give me a scrutiny test, but they seem to have fallen and they seem to be down.
Would Uni be able to see them from?
Yeah, Uni, you could. Yeah, and Uni, you could. I'll let you roll a medicine instead if you wanted.
Okay, I'd change that then.
I mean, that's a success either way.
Okay.
Vuzi and Uni, you can tell it looks like the Veer pirate. Something under their skin, like back behind their head, kind of like pumps and starts to move. You'd guess it's an implant of some sort. You don't know what it's doing, but looks like cyberware. So, Kaz, you've put down your foe. You've side action. Where do you want to end your turn?
I'm gonna step into the room. Do I still have the movement to step into the room? Or?
Okay. Yeah, no. I mean, you think you only had to move like 2 meters? You do mean 5 meters here. Sorry, 5, 6, 7. So you can be right there against this vent if you want. Yeah. Okay. The Veer Pirate on their turn lurches back up. 1 health, full stamina, as a implant injects them with adrenaline internally.
Oh, snap.
Enraged, someone yells at them, fall back, and they're like, ah, and they run up, and they're trying to hit Vuzi with a sword as they make a rapid shot side action with the talent to shoot at Kaz.
Oh my gosh.
So they pop their revolver at a -2 modifier. So roll me that. Kaz, how much armor do you have?
1.
Yeah, so AP2 blows through that. You suffer 3 damage. You have no stamina. As
God.
the bullet takes you, it's like a hard rebound and a blow through. Thankfully, not in deep at anything, but next hits are going to health. And then the main thing is the Veer Pirate brings down their sword. And important note here, Vuzi, how much armor are you wearing?
I have question. I have an impact vest and
4 armor.
Oh, okay.
And the training standard spacer, you can stack them.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, let's do it.
5 armor, -2 because AP, +2 because you have physical cover from the pipes as they try and swing and stab their sword. So it all comes out in the wash. Give me a straight armor roll. You suffer 3 damage. Ooh. Thankfully, they didn't get any extra successes, or they could twist to bleed with their cutting. The pipes around you begin to spout mist and smoke as something in them, condensation, begins to escape all over you. Somebody somewhere else in this facility does something. Scampy, you see the lock on top close, and then you see the metal near the latch begin to get really warm. You haven't educated. You saw they had a laser pistol. It looks like they're trying to do something. Although I would note that doesn't sound like they're patching that wound just yet. That doesn't.
Somebody's trying to seal that hatch.
So Scampy, what do you want to do? They're trying to seal that hatch with maybe a laser pistol.
How far is it to get there?
It is 6 meters from you.
Okay, I will skitter over there.
Mm-hmm. Along the walls, over the pipes, up this little gantry area.
Yep.
And then you're above. What are you gonna do?
So basically, they're just trying to weld it shut. It looks like
that more or less looks like what they're going for. Yeah, they're trying to like laser near one of the latches so that like the bunker is like they'll meld it.
Well, I think whoa. Sorry, hold on a moment. That was weird. Okay, trying to think the best way to stop them from doing that is probably to pop it open.
All right. Yeah, you pop it open. So you want to give me well, it's not sealed yet. You can just pop it open, although your foe below will notice that. So you want to just like come up and like pop it?
Would that be a major action or a minor action? Or a side action?
I'd let you do it as a main action without a test, or a side action to do it rapidly as a mechanics test.
Let's do it as a side action.
All right, and I would say absolutely. By the way, a multi is going to help you here. So modifier 1 mechanics.
Okay. Add a 1.
All right, so you pop it open, but in the process, right? So you pop it open, you look down, you're like, aha, and the friend looks at you and they're like, aha, and in the moment you're like, oh, I didn't expect them to aha me back, and you freeze up for a moment and you drop your multi, and it goes straight down the hole and lands all the way at the bottom of this ladder with a clang.
Son of a...
Yep. So you now onto your you got like a meter left of movement. You got your main action. You got a clean shot of the Thren Dandy.
Well, I need to get my multi-tool, but there's a Thren Dandy in the way, so I shoot them.
All right, give me your main action shot, which is of course with your shoddy gun modifier 3.
Okay.
Which I can also put into your character sheet. I realize.
Yeah, I just put the word shotgun in there.
Nice.
Yeah, and then 3, 1, 6, 12. Basically, if you hit the D20 to the left of that ranged weapon, it will shoot with it. But okay, so I'm assuming you're pumping that all damage.
Yep.
All right, so that's a baseline of 2 damage. -1, -1. They're what we like to call in the business up at 1 gaming. If they are not, if they're bleeds and staunched by the next turn, they're dropping.
Okay.
So, on their turn, someone breaks from cover, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and cause with a deadly certainty, you know that your fellow Thren here can side action dash as they come at you, and they just leap like knee first. Clothbund on their hands, Labrys in hand, Sayer pistol in the other. They're not fucking around. They give you the flying jump kick, and yeah, because of War Dancer, they make this as a maneuver test. Would you like to dodge or block this? Those are both options.
Dodge if I can.
Sven, you side action for your next turn to make a maneuver here, and you'll get to contest this. And you will probably be forced to move 1 meter because you have to like roll away from it. Okay. So slight issue.
So many shocks.
Right.
You slightly dodge, you take the hit to the knee, and then bang, bang, bang. You squeeze down your revolver just instinctively, putting holes into the ceiling and emptying your revolver. You roll 1 meter away when all is said and done. Roll me your armor. You still suffer 2 damage. You're up at 1 gaming. Yeah, so they kind of like dance out. They try and knee you. They do a sweeping motion, and they say it's not too late to surrender as they close their fist on their clothed wound. And it is Vuzi's turn. Vuzi, you're in the pipes. You're in the mist. The world around you is rushing. You have a foe before you. Can't help but think how cinematic all this is. What do you want to do?
All right.
Are there space doves flying in slow motion in the background?
Of course. Space wubs and doves.
So.
Oh, space doves, yes.
Vuzi, in this case, I mean, he just saw what this Veer pirate did. I mean, in melee and also taking a shot. Is there any chance that I could try to swing my gun to get some distance between me and the pirate, and then shoot at the one in front of Kaz?
You can side action shove, and that's a contested melee.
Okay,
you want to go for it?
I will try.
You bounce off of them. You shove with the rifle butt. They parry with their blade, but you wind up pushing them back. With that, you could actually also force them prone if you want.
I would love to force them prone.
You push them back on their back. And yeah, so you turn around. You're in the mist. It's kind of fucking with you. kind of fucking with you, but you see the war dancer next to Kaj. You want to take the shot?
Oh yeah, I'm going for it.
All right. Make me your attack.
Okay, so mod 2 with my battle rifle.
Battle rifle, correct.
Great. Okay.
Also, also the battle rifle is in. If you click the D20 thing symbol to the left of battle rifle, it'll pop that shot.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So, do you want to? So you want to let that stand as your attack?
Oh, I'm gonna reach.
All right. Don't re-roll any successful dice. So, yep.
Okay. So, -2 or -1.
Yeah, -1, and just like I'll know the last edge dice doesn't count.
Okay. Oh, did I? Hang on. Sorry. Oh,
it went through.
Holy crap.
Okay, so you have an ammo 5 gun. Do you want to dump full damage, or do you want to try and proc a bleed?
I am going full damage. I think in this case, seeing this person right next to Kaz suggesting the idea of a surrender. Surrender's not cool. So I'm dumping it all in, trying to maximize and take this guy out.
All right, they're wearing ballistic weave. You can tell in the traditional threat. They have like a mix of like Threatened War Dancer dress and armor on. It's an aesthetic. It's a choice. But they have 3 armor points, and you have AP 3. So you hit them like a truck with 8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost down. And you know what else is a really important note to have here, though? Your gun is dry, and there's a bunch of scattered bullets all over the floor. So
okay.
There goes the battle rifle. Main side of spent. You still have movement.
All right. All right. In that case, okay. And quick question: as far as our electroshock stuff went, did we trade that in?
No. You only had to trade the illicit stuff and the bullets. You still all have electroshock guns to fall back on.
Okay.
They are basically dingy tasers, but better than none.
Great. In that case, I'm gonna try to move as close as I can to the to the assailant in front of Kaz. And just like puffing my chest out, trying to like provoke them that it's like, hey, this is the real target.
So give me a communicate to provoke.
Okay.
Give me a modifier of like what's your endurance skill?
Oh, my endurance is 3.
You can communicate with a modifier of 3 because you're trying to like play up the guns.
Sick.
You're taking them a free ride to the gun show. Well, Uni, meta scanner indicating low vital signs on comrades. What's the play here? Also, Vuzi, as part of your tough guy act, you're like, what would be really cool here? You're like, I know, I dropped my gun, and you drop your gun, and you're like. And they're like, oh, shit, you just dropped your gun. You're like, yeah, I just dropped my gun. Oh, shit. And both you and Kaz gain 1 edge. Important note, both Kaz and Vuzi could perform an edge break right now if they wanted to. Keep that in mind with what your edge breaks are. Also, bear in mind, afterwards, all the dice dump, and you almost certainly suffer a level 3+ shock. Uni,
okay.
What do you want to do?
Yes. Uni will, let's see. I think Uni is honestly just going to move beside him and just. I'll use a medikit on Kaz.
Here's the thing: medikits take 1 minute to use.
Gotcha.
So, do you have adrenaline or?
I do have adrenaline, but I also have Angel of Mercy, so he may just go for the shot instead and go for the kill if he can.
Okay, so you want to make an attack?
I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
All right. Shoot your revolver. It's a modifier 1 weapon. And I will also finally put it in your sheet. Oh my god. Yeah. So if you full dump it, if you full dump, the gun is out. But
what a boss! Oh my gosh.
But you will like guarantee the kill. You want to go for it?
If you need to not, could Vuzi potentially get the kill still?
You don't think so?
Then they'll go for it.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, they hit the ground, point blank. Many revolver rounds. Not looking good. Not looking good on their odds of survival.
So sometimes Angel of Mercy just believes in just killing them instead. It's a
so
mercy on the living. So
Yeah.
so Uni, that's your play, right?
Yep.
All right.
Deadliest medic in 3 parsecs.
Do you want to use a side action to maybe whip out the medical tool you're going to use next or something?
Yeah, I think they would prepare that.
All right.
Try to get prepare to get cause back up a little bit.
All right. I am a real bastard. Yeah, they're gonna have to do this first to make this possible. Okay, they don't do that. So they're gonna have to leave their buddy there. But you see down the shaft from you, one human mercenary is looking up through the hole, Scampy, looking up at you, shooting down, and they are going to go ahead and fire. It looks like they have a pulse rifle.
Eep.
Yeah. And they are going to make their shot. 6, AP5, full auto special. And they aim and shoot. No, they don't aim. They don't have the side action economy for it. Okay, that's one shot coming through. I'm assuming you don't have more than 5 armor.
Here's the question.
Yeah. Oh, wait, here's your natural armor.
I have 4 armor for being a giant shrimp.
Yeah. You got that
and
hard
I've
shell.
got the shell armor plus the suit.
The training stance spacesuit gives you 1 armor, meaning you have a total of 5 armor, meaning AP5 wipes it.
Yeah, okay.
Sadly, the pulse rifle, with the force of applied explosives rips up in you, and you're take 4 damage from that. He yells, "They're coming out of the ceiling," and doesn't seem too happy about that. You can see him as well. I don't know how to give you a good eye other than to copy paste you. I apologize. This will look weird on the map, but so I just know that you're looking down into this chamber at the human merc who's looking up at you.
Gotcha.
Kaz, what's the play? What's your move?
I am so pissed off at this stupid pirate getting back up on his feet that I shoot at him again.
All right. Now, he's presently prone and behind some clouds, so we'll get a bit of help from that, but it won't be reflected in your roll. So, and also, let me just quickly go into Kaz. So you see the ranged weapon section where it's got the mod 1 damage through revolver?
Yes.
Click the little D20 symbol to the left of that, and it'll automatically factor in the mod of your gun. And I will fill in your revolver's properties there as well.
Sick.
Nice. And ammo 2, 82 ammo 2. So, was your gun out of ammo, or am I tripping?
I've only fired that one.
You're full. All right. So yeah, it's the other revolver this time. So you want to fully unload on this, knowing that that'll empty your revolver?
Yeah, because he got up one time. I'm not risking it again.
All right. None of the mist or pipes help it, even though he's down. So that's 5 damage you're punching through most of the stamina. That's your go.
Yes.
They side action, stand back up, look over and say, "Running, no!" And they fall back. They fall back, ready in action, and say, "Step away from them, and I'll let you leave." And it's the Thren Dandy's turn. The Thren Dandy is going to side action draw and then use a clot shot, ending bleed and healing them for 1. However, they've consumed their turn's action economy other than running the fuck away. And they go through a door to an outer chamber of the bunker. Scampy.
Which I can't really see beyond that.
Yep. So Scampy, it's your turn. Now it's just down the barrel of your shotgun is the barrel of a pulse rifle looking back at you.
I'm gonna duck out of the way.
So you're no longer visible to the human merc.
Okay.
So you get the floor like here-ish.
Yeah. What do I have on me?
But
Let's
indeed,
see.
not the multi.
No, not the multi, but I'm gonna scamper over to the dead body.
You want to climb up the ladder and get to the dead body.
I never went down the ladder.
Right. Okay. So you're like near the top, right?
Yeah, because
So
I
you're
opened the
here.
hatch.
Okay.
And
So
I
you're
was
gonna have
shooting
to.
down
So you'll ascend 2 meters to where the dead body is on this like upper gantry, and then so 4 meters total. You're by the human merc. There is a fully loaded scout rifle on the human merc's body. Would you like to side action pick that up?
I will side action pick that up.
All right, and I will be pumping that into your ranged weapons. Scout rifle acquired. Yeah, it's a 2/2 on the mod with some sick properties. What is your what's your play from here?
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh, you're setting it up. Okay. I no longer have a chance to do a main attack, though, right?
You haven't used your main action yet, actually.
Okay. I moved 4.
Yeah, and you only have to move 1 meter to get back at this aperture and just look straight down at it. You have a 400 meter primary, 800 meter outer range on that rifle. You're just looking down a ladder, like, hello.
Okay. Well, I've got this dandy rifle.
Yeah.
And I've got a dandy target.
Well, the dandy target isn't available. You see the merc target.
I mean, the other dandy target.
Yeah, their dandy target. Yeah, you want to pop that shot?
I will pop that shot.
All right, shoot.
No modifier to it?
No modifier. Just click the D20 button to the left to scout rifle on your range weapons.
Yep.
You tag him. It's AP5. It seems to go through his armor, no cover. You've heard him for that 2 damage. So Scampy, that's your turn. You can you have like a meter left if you want to like move off to the side and not be visible.
Yeah. Because that hurt.
The War Dancer, I'm just going to quickly determine. The War Dancer is fucked up and will probably die from bleeding out eventually, but isn't immediately dead. Vuzi, it is your turn.
Change that.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, like, did we see the War Dancer have any ranged weapons on them?
Yeah, the War Dancer does have a SIR pistol on them, a laser pistol.
Okay. Would I be able to go grab that and try to pop
you can side action loot it from where you're standing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's a mod 1 damage 1 weapon with an AP4 or set to non-lethal. You'll note it was set to non-lethal when you picked it up. It is, I'm going to say, a free action to toggle it.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm going lethal.
All right. Make me your shot.
Okay. Did you say mod 1?
Mod 1 damage 1.
Okay. Oof. 2
You
successes,
take down
1
their
ed,
stamina.
or 1 shock.
The charge pack is starting to run hot. You're going to have to make endurance tests after this turn, unless you don't shoot it next turn, to keep it from like burning your hand while you're wielding it. You're overheating the charge pack because it was jostled and the person getting shot up. So you want to move? You've mained, and have you sided? Did you aim?
I think looting was the side.
Correct. Never mind. So you have movement. That's it.
Okay. I'm gonna move towards just northward.
Yeah, I think you've got like a full 6 meters.
Great.
Uni, it's your turn.
Well, the pirate's still up there, but probably won't make it too much longer anyway.
And the Vera Pirate note is holding their action. Actually, wait, you shot them while they were holding their action.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
They choose to hold fire and say, all right, addendum. Let me leave here with Rashun and do what you will with this place. They're holding the gun, aiming it now at Vuzi. And it looks like if Vuzi makes another step, they're going to get plugged unless someone distracts or convinces the pirate that you're going with the deal. Uni, what are you doing? That's the situation up north. The word answer's on the dirt.
And the word answer is the one they want us to keep alive, right?
Correct.
Uni would actually consider letting them leave and even offer to help the ward answer if they would agree to actually leave.
The ward answer says, I came here to test my skills, not extinguish my star. You've bettered me. Leave me alive, and I promise we will never again stand as foes.
And can I roll insight?
Yeah.
See if I believe them.
Yeah, they're being serious. They ain't getting paid enough to do this.
That's fair. He would then begin to help patch him up a little bit.
Give me a medicine test. All right.
And there, I thought I was going to accidentally kill him.
Amazing.
So
So
there was
this
a lot of debate there about just shooting him in the face instead. I won't
this
lie.
hatch pops open, and a pulse rifle sticks out, and the human merc says back away, and then notices that you're like healing the person, and they look at you and look at the situation, and they're like, all right, new deal, we stop shooting each other, and we call this contract bunk. Sound good? They've got a pulse rifle. They're pointing at Kaz and Uni. They could easily full auto fire pulse round ammo nearly point blank at them if they wanted to, but they see Uni patching up the ward answer and they don't want to.
Uni will look at Cause and say, in truth, I don't know what we're doing here.
All right.
They're
I just
along for the
wanted a
ride.
hat, man.
Yeah, they're just along for the ride.
Yeah. So, does anybody want to accept this deal here? This deal?
Yeah, Cass will speak up and say, absolutely. We do the same for each other.
Give me a communicate.
Watch me get full shock. Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Now, nice. You fully convinced them there will be no double cross. The mercenaries are willing to leave this place.
Ask them for the eye key.
So you asked them for you asked them for the eye key. And like what happens is they're like, well, they didn't give us like full access, but this slate is key to let us through, and they offer a one of the new Rastamade slates that would have popped nicely into those cases you got.
Nice.
And yeah, the survivors all leave, and they're like, "Where's Jim?" And they're like, "Jim's dead." And they're like, "Oh well, can't save them all." And they seem like they're not thrilled, but no reason to stay here and die more. I'm assuming none of you feel the pressing desire to ambush anyone here.
Oh.
All right.
No.
You have a slate that has eye key access. You could run a systems check to try and crack that code.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like a few minutes pass as they all filter out, and you know that this appears to be the path deeper into the bunker. Also, there is time if somebody wants to go around and pick up every bullet and put it back in the magazine. And then
I will because I feel bad.
You feel bad. Oh. You pick up you pick up all the ammo and the rifle, and I'm assuming Scampy, you scamper down, and on the way you reobtain your multi.
Yes.
Great.
After Cause does that.
Also, there's a
Winnie will
console
begin
right
to-
here if you want to jack into a cause.
I want to do that too. Oh, I guess I need to get healed, don't I? I should.
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
run
it's
towards it and then I
possible-
like pause. I'm like, oh wait, I'm.
Well, I was gonna say, if it's possible, Uni can do the healing while Cause is playing with the console.
That will work too. Yeah.
Engage in some cosplay.
Uh,
So anyway,
Oh.
you give me the medicine test as you spend a minute doing the Medicate. Cause you give me systems with a modifier of 2 because you're at a high permission level console.
So how does
a negative
stamina
2?
heal?
A positive 2, a positive 2.
Positive too. Sick.
And sorry, what was that?
How does stamina heal?
If you are out of a fight for a good amount of time, like if you guys were to like go back to the koi and take a knee, you'd pop back to full stamina after like a bit.
Okay.
And by default, unless do you have the thing that lets you heal health with the med kit?
I don't think I do.
Okay, yeah. So medikits
Talents are
can actually-
Reviver and Angel of Mercy.
Okay, yeah. So normally medikits and adrenaline only heal stamina. If you're damaged in the health, you're gonna have to sleep that one off. But yeah, you
inventory have medical supplies, adrenaline, medikit, and drop.
So, Cause, you punch in, you see that there is a lot of systems network activity, and also there's a lot of comms activity.
Nice.
Do you want to get a better handle on there's 2 different nodes. There's the security node, which last time had turrets and cams, and there's the comms node.
Comms node.
Okay, so you're emphasizing the comms node. You succeed with the twist. I'm going to say I'll let you get either cams or turrets as well.
Ooh, cams.
All right. So you have the eye key cams online and under your control. And here is what you see. A white chamber with a look at a turret that's aiming into what would geographically, make sense to be where you'd go down. So a turret with Overwatch and the ladder down, and this door that's got some strange machinery, some broken stuff, and some tumbled stuff, and some strange white walls look a bit more official than you'd expect. So yeah, that's what you guys have taken in. You're free to do any more medical care if you'd like.
Uni, would you mind hitting me up?
And Uni, for reference, with only 1 success in your medikit use, you'll only heal 1 stamina. You could spend 1 of your 2 remaining processing to roll more there, or let that stand.
To be honest, Cause doesn't have a lot, so I don't know how much it would be worth using the processing for possibly
enough.
2 more.
Yeah. Scampy, meanwhile, has 4 left to heal. Do you have another medikit to use on him?
Yep, I had 2, so I'll use 1 on Scampy.
Great.
All right. Whip out the medical gear, the gauze. You get that broken shell looking like good news. You have a little moleskin on the cracked carapace. Full health Scampy.
Looking good.
And that's the scenario. And your hacker has always got full access up, down, all around. You got the cams. You have the eye key. And you can sense as you're reading around the system, there is some sort of like databank access. It seems like it was once master level, but it's been fucked with. Like it could control everything in the bunker, but it had problems. But there's communication around through it. You also sense a medibed. There's advanced medical tech here somewhere. There's a medbay down there somewhere. And the eye key also works for the gun locker that they have down there. They don't know if it's full or anything, but yeah, and you have sight on that Praetorian Guard turret. That being said, you see a little flicker across all of the screens. Your slate is connected, and it begins to buzz oddly as it says, travel brochure. See the Avena pin, Waterworld. Yeah, you want to make me a real quick contested systems?
Yes. Do I get bonus because it's a signal that I'm jamming?
That is going to come up, but not this time. Sorry.
Not this time. That's okay. Oh.
You absolutely trash them.
Oh my gosh.
You can tell that there is a hacker at that formerly master level area. They definitely know what's going up, and they've got compatriots. They also know that you're compromised. Here's what you see. You see a Rast in a very nice suit walk out with an auto pistol, give a little twirl of the Skalloo and a wink, aim right at the camera, and mouths something you don't quite understand, and just like puts a bullet through the cam, eye dead. So they know that you have access, and they're definitely going to start working against you, but you hold your access against their onslaught. What's more, they're trying to put out a signal through the antenna up top. You don't have time to go manually clip it, but you could set up a jam. Do you want us to surf that signal?
I'm gonna jam it.
Give me that systems with the appropriate modifier.
Oh.
And you'll find out what that level 2 shock was in a moment. Okay. Yeah, so you managed to do it, and you lock them out, and you get a little, you get a push notification for a new note in your notes app, which is odd, but it seems that the note wasn't written by you, and it says, hello, Cause. Shouldn't have used your public key.
The dick.
I see you have a ship in orbit. Be a shame if it met a mining drone while you were away, winky face. So that level 2 shock is you realize you accidentally, while you were locking down the systems, used the public key representing the transponder code, the FMS Improv. They traced it back, saw you, and that's a bit of an implicit threat now, isn't it? Explicit threat even. So you know you've got them locked out. With a bit of time, they'll get to try again. But for the moment, you've mantled it. You've got control of the system, right? Everything but that weird master level thing that still has comms access, which you're jamming. They can't get anything in or out right now. So in a sense, that's a bluff unless they already sent the message. And if they already sent the message, that complicates things. They'd either need to send a stand down, or they're lying about, being willing to not anyway. So, I mean, you're in orbit over a planet. It would be pretty brazen to attack you, but, I mean, you've started shooting people, and they know that by now. So, people might be willing to be brazen when it's whether or not they're going to die. Yeah, you guys are all up here as Kaz gets those messages. What do y'all want to do?
They better not hurt my ship. I mean, our ship.
Yeah.
But secretly my ship.
Our ship.
Yeah.
Fine.
We could always say we cleared the area and just leave.
Good. You've got reminder. You were here because you are Trinity do-gooders do-gooders. You believe in the Trinity, and you want info on what Imperial Scout Corps bunker coming back online meant. It could have meant human separatists. It didn't. It is a mercenaries and Skuza operation. The Skuza are down there with some sort of obfuscated human empire AI data banks.
We have enough info to bring back and have Trinity come in.
Oh, yeah, no. So the marshals, the military, they're all going to swoop in on here.
Yeah, let's go.
Here's the only factor that might tip this decision. They're down there with the data banks, and you don't know what they were retrieving and why this place was worth coming to and why they had to import a lot of stuff. You're going to leave with some questions unanswered and have to wait for the Trinity to swoop in. And if they, knowing they've been had, pop out right after you and make off, you don't know what they're getting away with. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe they were trying to set up a long-term base here and you fucked them. They've gained nothing other than what they can walk out of here. But it's a maybe. So, but yeah, no, you've gone above and beyond, and you could totally cut and run.
We go back and get Mercutio to help us.
I mean, you could absolutely go inform Mercutio. Hey, we have them on the ropes. You could also call your friend. You have control of the dishes right now. You could call Mercutio. And call in all of this information if you'd like.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just blow this wide open.
All right, so you're gonna reach out to Mercutio, and what do you wanna tell him? The whole story of what you've seen thus far, basically?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mercutio says, "Ah, so I see they haven't just pricked for the love of pricking. Well then, time to make arrangements. Are you still in the bunker?"
Yeah.
The tools of the fascists are of no interest to me. Vacate, and we'll call it in. And yeah, so do you mention that your ship might be in danger?
Yes.
He says, that is an important thing, one's conveyance through the stars. Count it as a favor to be repaid later, and I will relieve you of the foe's disfavor.
I like this guy a lot.
You want to owe your man a favor and he'll take care of it?
Hell yeah, I do.
All right. He sends you a little notification. You get a transponder is near you broadcasting a Piranha, which is a shuttle that is a fighter craft, but is normally remade to do like hospital or personal or small cargo transit, is there. It has an active railgun, and it's just it's your little friend, the red Pirouette, is just hanging out, in case anybody wanted to try something. Roll me, all of you, a maneuver to hustle the fuck out of this crater. The fuck out of this crater.
Okay.
All right. And if anybody has an applicable edge break, I will let you trigger it here.
Yeah. Epiphany, everyone.
Oh,
Ooh,
shit.
nice.
You have it now. That grants. That's not Eureka. What does Epiphany do?
Oh yeah, no, it is Eureka.
You gave
It's the-
everyone gets a modifier +2 on everything they do for the next minute here.
Sick. So I'll roll another 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
that's
guys-
2 more successes.
You guys like that? Oh my god, you look amazing, Woozy. You turn on the helmet cam, right? You have GoPro footage of how y'all just absolutely super twisting all over. You run, you're up the ledge, you're in here before emergency ration is even done, licking their nether regions. You have piled in. You are back aboard the Koi. You're ready to punch it. The engine could use a boost from a mechanic. The piloting could use a doing from someone who wants to look cool. And if somebody wanted to go through the ATC and quickly route the fastest way up, somebody could give me a systems. And all of those +2s. And if anybody wanted to activate any certain edge breaks they have, feel free.
I don't think I have quite.
Also do systems.
yeah. So, I mean, I would love to. I have Deadeye. I mean, it's a ranged attack, but I guess I could flavor it as like piloting, just choosing the most optimal route, like a dragonfly,
Absolutely.
choosing the
You
right
shoot-
trajectory and
Here's the
whatnot.
thing, yeah. So Kaz lines up the piloting angle through predictive arrangements, and just like when you were in the seat of the railgun, it's giving you the boxes line up on the trail. It's just that you just line up the rockets and you hit one thrust, and the Koi rockets below you. Scampy is in there giving the engine all it's got. You surf the signal. Vuzi and Uni, you stood here, and it occurs to you, no hats are presently in this room, but what are you thinking about as the ship rockets into orbit?
He's thinking about the vendor that you were told about. Is there a way to contact them?
Yeah, you could absolutely give me a systems to try and send a deep space missive tucked in a packet. All right, yeah, and they send you they send you back a selection. One of them looks like it would just work perfectly based on your earlier preferences. You'll have to head out to the edge of the system to get it, though. Kaz, as you serve the signal, you see. So the other group has loaded into a. You guys rocket back insanely quickly, right? Kaz and Vuzi. Roll me as many d6 as you have edge. So 7d6 for Kaz, 8d6 for Vuzi.
All right.
This is your edge jumping from your edge breaks. And every roll that isn't a 6 here counts as a shock result. Okay.
Ooh.
So you guys come back into the ship, right? You're back aboard the freighter. You guys run back into the cargo hold, and Kaz, you start spinning as you think about the fact that you've been had. The hacker knows who you are. You're burned. They could be trying to do any sort of things right now. The lock on it won't stay, and all you can think is, I have to delete everything. You whip out your slate and you start like purging all of your caches, and you like sit on you lean over on a crate, and you're just like stuck in it. Like you're absolutely deploying all of the countermeasures, stuck here, not doing anything else. Vuzi, you think of how cool that was? You crashed to your feet, and you are crushed by the fact that your beloved might not even be in the system, might not get this message for months to years, might never know how awesome your deeds were here today. You begin to hyperventilate. You're losing your shit. Scampy and Uni, you're still on your feet as you get a notification that there is a shuttle. Also, you note that there is a cargo container dropped from orbit as an accident, and it happens to land directly on the bunker. With the force of a kinetic round. It is now a crater. Mercutio seems to be taking care of it. You do note there is like a piranha that's scrambled near the Persistence, but there's also another shuttle, another koi actually, taking a group, and you think it is the mercenaries you spared. They are flying towards the Persistence, and it's moving to collect them. And they have a fighter escort on the Persistence, as well as a mining drone. And Mercutio hits back with a confirm that Kaz can't even focus on. You just swipe it away, like no messages. They can't know me. But like you on habit, like throw it into like the communal like pot of messages the AI has access to, and it says notification. Serial number traced aboard the Persistence. And so as you guys are losing it, Scampy and Uni, you still have it together. Vuzi and Kaz are like, they're just not with it. They're having a really bad time. Do you guys want to try and do anything about the fact that the people who definitely fucked you over coming in here are going to get away? Or are you just going to focus on keeping your friends together and call it that now that you've called it all in? Called in Mercutio first, but you're calling in the Trinity, and it's all going to work out.
Well, Uni is just walking back and forth between the two of them, just making sure they're not hurting themselves in their panic.
Right, so you're
I'm going to
they don't
guess
have much of a care in the other ship.
I'm going to guess the anti-meteor cannon doesn't have enough oomph to do anything to their ship.
Oh no, it does. Shuttles have like 2 to 4 hull. It is a 1 damage weapon. Also, you have the dumbware torpedo tombs. Also, what's range in space, really, baby? Unless the weapon is drop off, which neither of your ship weapons do, it goes forever. You can shoot with systems or ballistics, an asteroid gun, or with ballistics, you can fire the dumbware torpedo. Mod of 0, but damage of 4.
Just to put an exclamation point on everything.
All right, this will look a little sus in their board of the Trinity, but you know, you've done a good turn.
There was damage when we were hit by the wreckage from the meteor we deflected.
All right, so
there was a systems failure that accidentally caused a launch.
All right, you're gonna run up and you're gonna try and slam the button on the dumbware torpedo. I'm gonna say you have about 1 opening here, before you finish it, and they're moving over in a koi, which I will pull up the stats for. You don't need to worry about. But yeah, make me a ballistics with a 0 modifier. But if you hit, you're fairly confident that they're gonna have a bad fucking time. The torpedo locks in, the dumbwaiter ejector fires it forward, burning hard, and it is en route to hit dead center of the koi ferrying back those mercenaries you quote unquote spared, and the koi is exceptionally healthy in that it actually has 5 hull, but you have a twist. its armor dice doesn't get a success, it doesn't matter if it can pivot because you're still dealing 5 damage. You render it frame wrecked in one go, 0 hull, and the explosion deals to the people inside like some damage, and they are sending out an automatic SOS. A torpedo has just struck their ship. Things are hot, and you have a chapeau deal at the edge of the system. Uni, do you want to go punch the autopilot?
Yeah, Uni definitely would.
As you guys are coming back to your senses, you hear the torpedo fire, and just as people are starting to be like, "What the fuck?" You guys gun it, and I think that's how the long trip to the short post ends, with a cratered-in bunker and unknown mysteries buried beneath several metric tons of scrap metal somebody was moving around for no particular reason. And the mercenaries of Persistence, their fighter escort and the Persistence turn to retrieve them. You don't know if they live or die, but that koi definitely ain't going nowhere anymore. As you guys pull out, and I'm sorry, I think we rolled 40 minutes over.
Oh, it's
What
all
time
good.
are we supposed
It
to end?
happens.
But this has been a wonderful game, and I
was
think
having fun.
as Vuzi and Kaz come back to normal, and like you return to baseline, you're like, whew, you feel like you're going to be thinking about that in the future as you have to cope with your respective situations. You're all back on the bridge, and hey, Scampy, you think that in the reset, as you're powering back up the ship, the microwave should be online, so the popcorn should be available.
Anyone want popcorn?
Yeah, you cook up the popcorn, you've got a stiff drink, and you have a nice ride out along the hollow table before Unicorn steps out to retrieve that chapeau. That's the outs there. I don't know if Matt has any particular ending rituals on Improv and D&D, but feel free to say what you think your characters might get up to in the wake of this, and any feelings you have about the game, about the run we've had here. And I think Uni, tell us. I'm sorry, I feel like you didn't have as much to do in this game, but
it was a lot of fun still. I'm all good with it.
What do you think Uni does after Uni finally has that perfect chapeau?
Unfortunately, there isn't a perfect chapeau, because you can't just have one. You have to have more than one. So he will still be dedicating his life to finding more and more that fit his style perfectly.
Brilliant. Any parting thoughts on the system, session, etc.?
It's a lot of fun. I really like the system. Using only 6s as a success was very nerve-wracking and very fun at the same time. It felt like I was playing Yahtzee, but actually having a good time.
Amazing. And last but not least, Micah.
I went into this only having read. I didn't watch any. I watched like segments of the game Matt played in, but only for like the comedic value, not for the game system. Mm-hmm. So I went in this with only book knowledge, relatively blind. This is a really fun system, and it was very easy to grasp for someone like me. As for what Kaz is doing, he's definitely going to enjoy himself some popcorn.
I'm gonna fucking check. I don't think I have it, but I hope I have some fucking popcorn. It's late, and no, I wouldn't eat, but like that's just put a pin in it, right? Perfect. Sam, speak to us as Scampy and your scamperings.
Well, observing the game itself, I think one of your design ideas was that these aren't superhero type characters. These are mostly workaday people. So the
ordinary
high
people
failure,
doing extraordinary things.
But the the fact that we could do some amazing stuff, really, the rules actually play that out very nicely. As for Scampy, I guess his future, Vuji's going to need a wing shrimp.
Yes.
Yes. You guys go back. You guys pull up to the I think they even call it the Wing Makers Guild that Scampy is a part of. No others. And you happen to just on a random chance, you see the Gwai of Vuzi's dreams, and Scampy you help out just at the right moment.
I mean, I can't figure it out because nothing matches at all, but the heart wants what the heart wants.
Love, baby.
Yes.
Amazing, and it brings a tear to the eye. Better love story than Romeo and Juliet. We even had a better Mercutio.
Yeah.
And yeah. Matt, pop it for me here. Thank you again for the opportunity to run your channel. The opportunity for me to terribly misunderstand your message and then wind up running your channel. This has been so much fun.
No, this is better because, all right. So, I mean, for clarity for the people watching, I asked Lee if I could dreamweave on my channel because I love this system so much. It's so cool. Every single time I've played, I've had such a blast. But we got our lines crossed a little bit, and Lee, he ended up dreamweaving, and of course, it's spectacular. I was going into this week super stressed because I'm like, what if I screw this system up? What if I don't represent it well? But this eased all my fears so I could just chill, have fun, and just play the system I love with these incredible players here. I want to say a huge thank y'all for being willing to play with me. It was so cool to be able to finally play with everyone here because Sam, Wombat Fuzz, I've chatted with you so much on Twitch chat, and so it's so cool to finally put a face and a voice to one of the kindest people I've ever met. And with Jay, with RLU, I've DM'd for you before on Improv and D&D, and it's such a blast, but to finally be able to interact with you on a player-to-player basis, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It just warmed my heart. And Micah, I've known Micah for several years, and I've DM'd for them for several years. This is the very first time I've been a player character with Micah. And so it's a night of firsts, y'all. It's a night of firsts.
A night of firsts.
So it's been beautiful. Thank you so much, Lee. It's, oh my gosh, I know your schedule is mega busy. So the fact that you're willing to put in so much effort and run the game on my channel, I'm eternally grateful. And
thanks so much.
It was a wonderful time, and everybody made it a wonderful night.
Yeah, it was so good. And as far as Vuzi goes, I could see Vuzi going to Kaz and trying to get tips, because Kaz would be able to find out information as far as how to better present yourself. And then Vuzi would go to uni as part of, how to better present yourself. You gotta have the right chapeau. And I know that uni is very much there's no perfect chapeau. There's no one chapeau. But for Vuzi, as far as love goes, there is. He has one chapeau for himself. Aww. And here, when Scampy is Vuzi's wing shrimp, I could imagine Scampy and Vuzi just showing up to someplace. It might be like a park, of course, because they'd have to walk their emergency rations. And he had heard that.
Oh my gosh! Yes, the wolf.
Yeah, having a dog is. Everyone loves dogs, so I imagine us just chilling, and then suddenly emergency rations runs off somewhere, and both of us
great with ranch dressing.
What was that?
Yes, everyone loves dogs. They taste great with ranch dressing.
Oh my gosh. Vuzi would be so protective of emergency rations, even though he's still cool with calling the wolf that. But I just imagine emergency rations leads us somewhere, and we're like, where did you go? And then we see who emergency rations has led us to. And of course, it's Casalibo. And then from there, we zoom away.
We go to the credit scene, the music players. That is so perfect. I who could put a better pin on it? I am thrilled, I say, to have had this experience with you all tonight. I don't have anything to say other than if you like Change Stars, we played a lot on Diesel Shot, especially now during Change Stars Summer. You can pre-order the game through BackerKit, but the game is hopefully coming out this summer. As I'm just, we've got, every week there's more chapters in layout, and then we're just gonna, once that's done, we're pumping it. We do the final review. That's after the digital release, and then off to the printers after, a few weeks of making sure everybody catches our damn typos. I'm sure the book is gonna be riddled with anyway. But yeah, no, this has been a pleasure and an honor. And again, you can find me on Twitter at Quadcore, QUAD on Twitter, and most other things, Diesel Shot, Diesel DIESEL, Shot SHOT, all one word. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to game with you all tonight, and rest well, dear audience.
Awesome. Yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and wherever you are, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Yeah.